good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to MALILLA here in Sweden. We have a fine afternoon for you, and we have a fabulous meeting coming up as well, the Lapman and Maskin FIM SGP3 final, the under-16s world final, effectively. It's the second year that we have run this meeting. Last year, of course, Mikael Andersson winning the World Championship in Wrocław, but we are in Sweden in 2023. We'll introduce the riders for you right now, and then number 18 coming forward, the second track reserve is Jan Lesina from the Czech Republic. All of these guys, of course, are under 16, and a massive opportunity for them.
Yeah, the second reserve, number 17, Patrick Cruz, one of only 3 riders to compete here tonight from the 2022 final in Wrocław.
I think he finished 8th last year. Now we've got Cooper Russian there. He's from Essex in Great Britain. Look how young-faced he is, but certainly he's a rider that's got a bit of character about him. Looking forward to seeing him tonight.
Yeah, number 15, Villads Pedersen. He's had a busy week. He won the Youth Gold Trophy and hosted on Saturday in Denmark as well.
Yeah, William Kearns from the UK coming forward as well, another young Brit that qualified through on Wednesday, and certainly put in a strong performance at Västervik.
Yeah, Philip Mikowski riding number 13, 6th on with 10 points, semi-final number 1.
Alexander Adamson from Australia coming forward now, and he certainly did well as well, getting through.
Mikael Andersson, of course, reigning champion from Wrocław last year. Fantastic meeting for him. Finished second in his semi-final.
Yeah, Casper Mania finished 4th last year and qualified strongly as well on Wednesday night, and certainly one of the pre-meeting favourites.
Yeah, Australian Mitchell McDermott, 3rd place in semi-final number 2 in Västervik on Wednesday.
And great to see plenty of home competitors coming through the semi-finals. Leo Klassen there, a great round of applause for him. Certainly delighted to be in the final here.
Yeah, another Swede, Alfred Aberg, scraped through his semi-final in 8th place.
From Australia, Bo Bailey. I must say that this rider's quite extraordinary. He's hardly been riding a bike. He's only been riding a 250 for 6 months. He's here with Craig Boyce, who, of course, was the former Grand Prix star. So looking forward to seeing Bo here this afternoon.
Yeah, young Damien Miller, one of 4 Polish riders here. Finished 5th on 12 points in his semi-final.
Rasmus Karlsson, again, another Swedish rider coming through in semi-final number 1 in 7th place. So looking to put in a strong performance this afternoon.
Otto Ruck, the lone Finnish rider. It's not a big Speedway nation, so he'll be looking to get his career off with a big one here today.
Maximilian Pavelchak coming forward now. He won the semi-final number 2, breaking the track record twice in doing so.
And Slovenian Sven Čežak, 10 points in semi-final number 1 for 5th place to qualify for today.
So there we are. They are the competitors for this afternoon's events. We will have a short pause now while we listen to the Swedish national anthem sung by Marlena Karlström coming forward for you now.
Och nu, mina damer och herrar, välkomnar vi våran sångerska Marlena Karlström. Vi ställer oss upp för den svenska nationalsången.
Du gamla, du fria, du fjällhöga nord, du tysta, du glädje, rika sköna. Jag hälsar dig, vänaste land upp på jord. Din sol, din himmel, dina ängder gröna. Din sol, din himmel, dina ängder gröna. Du tronar på minnen från fornstora dag, då att ditt namn flög över jorden. Jag vet att du är och du blir vad du var. Ja, jag vill leva, jag vill dö i Norden. Ja, jag vill leva, jag vill dö i Norden.
Tack så mycket, Marlena Karlström!
Well, superbly sung there by Marlena, and riders now will begin to make their way back to the pit area where they'll begin to really focus on their first ride of the afternoon. There will be a group photograph initially just to remember the occasion. Smashing. This is the old format. 20 heats, of course, to decide who's going to be world champion here this afternoon. It's sudden death. It's real tense stuff. Really enjoyed last year the inaugural staging of the SGP3 World Final. We'll take another look at the lineup for you now up on screen. And just so you can familiarise yourself with the names of the riders taking place here this afternoon. There we go then. Pavelchak there at the top. Bo Bailey, the young Australian, certainly caught the eye on Wednesday. 2 Brits in the lineup as well. Mikael Andersson, of course, the red-hot favourite to retain his title. But, Chris, another competitive meeting coming up.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You know, I didn't know how the format would work on big tracks last year in Wrocław. It was a big, wide open spaces for the little 250 engines. But I tell you what, it was so entertaining. I was pleasantly surprised as early as, I think, probably the first lap of Heat 1. So
yeah, we both
really
were.
Looking forward to today.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got ideal conditions. We've got early 20s degrees, and the track is in terrific shape. And we've got, of course, the Senior Grand Prix to look forward to tomorrow night. There's a 2-track reserves for you, excuse me. Patrick Cruz was in the series proper last year, and a Cooper Russian is the wild card from the United Kingdom. So keep an eye out for those riders. Of course, the reserves will get an opportunity if there is a restart at the tapes or an injury. As I say, riders just now focusing on their first rides. We'll take a closer look at the track for you. We do use the drone camera for this, and it gives you a great look at the track. It's 315 metres, but take us around here for a lap, Chris. You know the place well.
Yeah, I've had a couple of league meetings here back in the day, and it's a good, fun track, wide open. It's very, very fast on a 500cc. You certainly feel the speed. For the 250s, it's going to feel a bit like a long track. On a long track bike, you've got a couple of gears, so yeah, they're really going to be stretching out to find as much pace as they can out of the little engines.
They'll be stretching the throttle cables this afternoon, that's for sure. The inauguration of the Sprok Arena 1993. We've been coming here 17 times for the Grand Prix, 315 metres. We've got a bit more banking on the straights here, 4.5%, 11.5 metres wide. That's pretty standard fare for FIM tracks. Plenty of banking in the corners there at just over 5 degrees and just over 16 metres wide. The straights are, again, quite heavily banked, 5.5%. That is slightly unusual. The width is pretty much spot on, and again, the banking in the corners, you really can wind it on. As Chris was saying, this is generate a lot of speed around this track, plenty of room. We see some smashing Speedway here, so that's the breakdown of the spec of the track for you, and that's what the challenge is for the riders here this afternoon. As I say, we were pleasantly surprised by how exciting last year's final was, and got to say, Mikael Andersson coming through and winning the championship on 13 points, and once again he is favourite to repeat that here this afternoon. But I just sense there could be a bit of a roller coaster. It could be a few surprises as well.
Well, that's what I like about this series, you know, the SGP3. These guys, they don't know a lot about each other. In fact, they don't know a lot about themselves. They're still learning. They don't really know what they can and can't do. So that's what makes it really interesting. And yeah, Mikael Andersson, obviously fantastic meeting in Wrocław. He says he put a little bit too much pressure on himself in his semi-final in Västervik. But I think he thinks he's probably over that. Looking forward to the final. Says he wants to leave the 250s as a 2-time world champion.
And why not, indeed? I think one of his major rivals here this afternoon could very well be Max Pavelchak, who actually beat him in the semi-final on Wednesday, breaking the track record twice in doing so.
So quite second time.
Yeah, well. They did have some rain prior to the event. It was delayed, but a drying track, and Pavelchak was able to utilise that fully, and certainly we'll keep an eye out for him. Riders are now just waiting patiently to be released onto the track for the opening race of the afternoon. As I say, these are 250cc machines. The riders are under 16. They're aged between 13 and 16 effectively, and some of the lads don't really even look 13, to be perfectly honest. But certainly when they pull the helmets on, they know how to ride. A lot of these guys are gaining lots of experience riding around Europe, so not too much longer now as riders enter the arena. for the first race?
I expect to see plenty of action in going into turn 3 on lap 1 in a lot of races, because these are the 250s. They take that first corner and the straight to start to wind themselves up and find their maximum speed, and they'll be sorting themselves out as they enter that turn 3 on the first lap.
Yeah, we see that often actually in the senior races as well. It can get quite hectic there. So here we go then for the opening race of the afternoon for the SGP3 final. And riders just doing a bit of gardening there on the side. They've all had a bit of a warm-up just prior to the event. So on the inside in red is Sven Černiak from Slovenia. Maximilian Pavelšák from Poland off of gate number 2 in blue. Otto Rak from Finland coming out of gate number 3 in white. And off the outside in yellow is Rasmus Carlsen. Looking forward to this. The letters below the bikes to signify which bike they have chosen. They've all got 3 bikes here, and that will change colour if they do see fit to change their equipment during the afternoon. Good to get off to a fine start here. First race, a few nerves around. Will they behave at the start? Tough time this for youngsters just to keep their composure. Jesper Steentoft is the referee from Denmark. Green lights on. And the tapes are up and more underway, and they go roaring into the first corner. It's out of gate number 2. There is Pavelšák now coming wide, but I tell you, up the inside there is Černiak from Slovenia, but Pavelšák winding it on round the outside. Can he make it work? Because it's neck and neck as they complete the first lap. 3 riders there, and Černiak once again from Slovenia running wide, but that's allowed Otto Rak through. He left the door wide open.
He did, yeah. Just too big a lap on that first lap. The little 250cc, you've got to find the shortest route. Couldn't get himself back down to the inside. And that's now allowed Carlsen there to get through to the front. She's like, oh, big left turn there to stop the run of Pavelšák up the inside.
So it's Carlsen out in front, not Otto Rak. Yeah. Apologies for that, but Carlsen made a smashing move there to come through. Černiak just back in second place, and the favourite for this race is Pavelšák back in third place, but Carlsen has just pulled away beautifully. Track's a little slick, possibly a touch wet in the first race, but understandably in an afternoon meeting, and he wins in fine style, Carlsen. A home win in the opening race of the SGP3 final here in MALILLA. That delights everybody associated with him, of course, but a great move there. Took the opportunity nicely. Fairly strung out, but I'm sure racing will improve as the afternoon goes on. So 3 points for Carlsen out in front. Černiak back in second place, 2 points for him. Pavelšák in third, 1, and Otto Rak, who I thought was in front for a moment, he actually fails to score in the opening race of the afternoon.
Yep, decent opening race. It's a fairly hectic first lap, particularly there for Pavelšák. Starts as one of the favourites, so he started with 1 point from his first ride. A little bit of pressure on him now.
Indeed, we'll see it again now. It was a good start initially from the Polish rider here, Pavelšák out of gate 2.
Yeah, it was a good start, but he didn't quite get across Černiak then. Sven Černiak on the inside. Now he finds himself stuck on the outside. And, of course, Rasmus Carlsen is the one that's just hedging his bets. He's cut back between them there up the inside. You can see now from the onboard camera as Carlsen enters the corners in third place. And it's actually Pavelšák and Černiak out front. Černiak runs across there, just drives Pavelšák a little bit wider than he wants to go. Did exactly the right thing. And now we can see Carlsen in yellow as he dives up the inside. I think there Černiak a little bit concerned about the run of Pavelšák on the outside. And when he took his opportune
there,
moment
Chris,
there.
I think early in the first race, probably round the inside would have been the right call. But
Yeah,
you're right. I think he was out of his peripheral vision. He was looking for the other
Concerned
rider.
about one of the favourites, of course.
Indeed. Heat number 2, then off the inside is Damian Miller from Poland. Gate number 2 in blue is Alfred Adberg from Sweden. Bo Bailey from Australia out of gate number 3 in white. And off the outside is Leo Klassen in yellow for heat number 2. Let's just see if the riders have just learnt a little bit from that first race. As I say, the track is just a touch wet at this early stage. Understandable in the bright sunshine that's here in MALILLA. Settling down for the second race of the afternoon, and we're underway. Great start out of gate number 3 there from Bo Bailey. Absolutely leapt out of the start there. Chops across the front of Damian Miller, who comes into second place, the Polish boy. Back in third now is Adberg from Sweden and Leo Klassen out the back. We've got to say, Bo Bailey certainly was an eye-catching performance Vestervik on Wednesday, and he's looking really good here in Heat 2.
Yeah, tremendous start for the young Australian. He's come to Europe for the first time. He's only been on a 250 for 6 months. He's got Craig Boyce in his corner, and certainly seems to be paying dividends for the young man. Cracking start from gate 3, got across immediately, having a little look behind, just checking his gap, race a little bit, strung out. Damien Miller, the pole there in second place.
Yeah, it is a little bit strung out. Miller having a real go in second place here, but I just sense that line that Bailey's riding is quite a mature one. It's just a little bit tighter than most. It's the shorter way, and he has produced a stunning win in heat number 2. Smashing start for the young Australian there. They'll be chuffed to bits with that. Continuing on with his fine form that he showed on Wednesday in the semi-final. As I say, he's only been riding a 250 for 6 months. It's quite an incredible level of performance he is producing after such a short period of time. Bad luck there for Abberg, whose bike gave up the ghost, but for Bo Bailey, that was a terrific ride from him. So they make their way back to the pits. We'll see the highlights of that race once again, Chris, but it was a smashing start. The result then is Bo Bailey out in front, 3 points for him. Damien Miller back in second place, 2 points. Leo Klassen, he picks up 1 point for third, and Alfred Abberg failing to score in heat number 2.
Yeah, I'd be very pleased with that start there. I think we just saw Craig Boyce actually in the background in his pit corner there, but look at that start. He's got the bike angled from the start. Confident young man. He just angled himself straight to the inside. He was confident that he was going to be able to drop the clutch first and get straight across, and he did exactly that. And there we see Leo Klassen up the inside in yellow there, just diving up the inside. You've really got to keep your momentum on these 250s. You've got to keep your speed up. You can't afford to overturn the bike at any point, because they're going to be really, really over-geared for a track this size. And when you've got a high gear, you've got to keep the momentum going. But a tremendous start there for Bo Bailey.
Absolutely, they'll be pleased with that. And clearly chuffed to bits with his opening performance. Heat number 3 is with us now, and riders up at tapes. Cracking on straight away. On the inside is Kasper Mania from Poland, who came 4th last year, one of the pre-meeting favourites. The champion Mikael Anderson alongside him in gate number 2 in blue. Gate number 3 in white is Mitchell McDermott, and Alexander Adamson from Australia was off the outside in yellow. Interesting to see whether the pressure will get to Anderson, who wants to win and go out of the 250 ranks as a 2-time world champion, as you said earlier on, Chris. Certainly plenty of attention, a lot of ink being written about Anderson coming into this event. Finished 2nd in the semi-final.
Yeah, he's got his dad in his corner, Brian Anderson. He's a Grand Prix winner, and I'm sure he'll be able to calm him down a little bit.
Here we go then. Big match-up here on the inside 2 gates. Tapes up now, we're underway, and Mikkelsen's made a super slide out of gate 2. He fires himself to the front. It's a bunch behind him. Coming out in second place initially is McDermott now back down the back straight, but already look at that from Anderson hugging the inside, pulling away out in front. McDermott from Australia now settling into second place. And Kasper Mania round the inside as he got himself up into second place.
Like
Smart move from the Polish man to get up into second place, but the champion out in front.
Yeah, as per the form book, I would suggest this race with Mikael Anderson leading. Great start, really just rocketed straight from the start. Kasper Mania has had to work, of course, 4th place last year in Wrocław in the SGP3 final, but this race is settling down. I would say that it is as per the form book, but McDermott certainly looking handy there in 3rd place.
Yeah, just left the door open there and just allowed Mania through, but no mistake at all here from Anderson. He picks up his first win. Impressive form from him right from the get-go. Certainly that bike leapt away from the tapes, and that will be very handy if you can do that. 5 rides, that will determine it, possibly. We may have some run-offs, but 20 heats. It's a shootout for the championship. And Mikael Anderson, the reigning champion, starts off in fine style. 3 points for him. Kasper Mania back in second place, 2 points. Mitchell McDermott back in third, 1. And Alex Adamson failing to score in his first ride from Australia. But no real surprise to see Anderson out in front here. But nonetheless, he certainly put in a polished performance in his first ride.
Yeah, and as reigning champion, there's a lot of pressure. He says he puts a lot of pressure on himself, so this will really calm the nerves. He'll be feeling confident now. Really did just rock it from the start, just got the bike, maximum traction all the way to the corner. He's actually pulled out about 5 bike lengths by the time they get down the back straight, so that Brian Anderson tune GM really is flying out there for him, and we can see the scrap now as I think it was who was it, Casper Mania, that worked his way through. He's actually in 3rd place right now, but just crept around the inside. Small mistake, the minutest of mistake there from McDermott in white, just overturned the bike for a fraction, and then we can see Mania there cruising around the inside. I think it's the place to be on this track, on these 250s. It's going to be hard to benefit from moving out wide. You don't really need that extra traction. I think it's going to be a scrap for the curb.
Indeed, so heat number 4, the lineup for you is Vilads Pedersen off the inside in red. Gate number 2 in blue is William Kearns. And gate number 3 in white is Cooper Russian. And off the outside from Poland is Filip Bukowski. 2 Brits here, and Vilads Pedersen already has won the Youth 85cc World Championship in Holstead just a few days ago. So he's having a great time. He's riding in the SGP4. See the inaugural SGP4 meeting here tomorrow as well, so he's a busy boy. So heat number 4 settling down. 2 Brits going head-to-head out of gates 2 and 3 here. Tapes up and we're away. They go roaring into the first corner, and it's certainly Kearns showing initially out of gate number 2, made a fine start, swoops up the banking into 2nd place now. Comes Russian there, and we've got 2 British riders, 1 and 2 here in heat number 4. Gotta say, certainly Kearns out in front is winding it on. He's a rider that's riding all over Europe, gaining invaluable experience. It seems to be paying off here in his first ride.
Yeah, it certainly does. He also rode in the United States in the winter when they had a test match out there with Team GB, and yeah, he's riding really, really well. He's all we can see there right up the inside for Pedersen. A little small mistake there from Cooper Russian in 3rd place now, but yeah, he's gaining so much experience. William Kearns riding as much as he can in Europe as well.
Yeah, so Kearns out in front. Russian will be kicking himself there because he ran wide, and that allowed Pedersen through. I say Pedersen's got some pace as well, but a fine ride there nonetheless from William Kearns. And has an all-action style, that's for sure, hanging off the back of the bike. Long track style, celebrating on the back wheel. Really excited about that. Great to see the youngsters really enjoying themselves in the SGP3 final here. And chuffed to bits with his opening ride. 3 points for Kearns then. Vilads Pedersen coming through in 2nd place, 2 points. Cooper Russian, 1 point for him, and Filip Bukowski missing out in heat number 4. All action. We've rushed through with the first 4 races there. You can see the first 4 winners. 3 points for Bailey, Anderson, Kearns and Carlson. And 2 points for Mania, Pedersen, Miller and Sherzak. Plenty of racing to come for you. It's just the first block of races, and we'll have some track grading now and possibly some reaction from the pits as well, with Marcelina down there working for us this afternoon. But once again, another look at heat number 4.
Yeah, and William Kearns there off gate 2, hits the corner in front. Looks like he's coming under attack here on the first lap, round the outside on the first turn at least for Filip Bukowski, but that doesn't happen. Cooper Russian settles himself down into 2nd place. Got a kind of a very small long track style there as he's laying on the bike, trying to find maximum speed. But in the end, it's a small mistake from him, and Vilads Pedersen's able to creep around the inside, makes the most of that as Cooper Russian, he knows he's made that mistake. He looks across his left shoulder and realises he's left that hole for young Vilads Pedersen to come through. But great first set of races. Really enjoyed those first 4. The track's settled down, and as you say, Kelvin, it's 20 heats. Slightly different mindset to the SGP that we're used to when we've got semi-finals and finals, when your main aim is just to get to that point.
So while we have the track grading, we can get some reaction now with Marcelina, and she's going to be joined by Bo Bailey.
Yes, exactly, Bo Bailey alongside me. Bo, the winner of heat number 2, 3 points on your account right now. First heat down, 4 to go. Is the pressure a little bit off right now?
Had a bit of pressure going out to the tails, but yeah, I'm starting to cool down. It's amazing that you have been racing on the 250cc just for 6 months. Are you feeling already very comfortable on that bike?
Yeah, I'm feeling real comfortable now. I had a couple, races before here, but now I'm starting to get really comfortable.
And this is your first trip to Europe, as far as I know. So how do you find Europe, the tracks here in Sweden as well?
We haven't tested many tracks. We've only tested one, but now I know, but they're real good.
You were accompanied by Craig Boyce, as far as I know. So how do you see that cooperation with team manager, who was former number 3 in the world?
He's good. He's a good manager. He's been training me for a while. Just giving me some tips.
Perfect. And one last question about the team, because we know how important is the team to young riders. So can you tell us a little bit more? Who is working with you? Who helps you out with the bikes and everything about the team members?
I've got Dad and Pop, they're my mechanics. And I've got another guy that's helping us read the track a bit, and their Boyce is just the team manager.
Thank you so much. Good luck with the upcoming heats.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to hear from Bo, and as I say, a smashing ride from him in his opening ride. We're just having a look back at that, and a nice style on the bike. And for a guy that hasn't been on the motorbike for very long, it looks like he's been coached correctly. He's got a classical style, and quite likely Craig has spent a fair bit of time helping him out, and as I say, it paid big dividends for them in their opening races, and he'll be looking to go all the way, certainly after his performance in semi-final number 1, where he picked up 13 points and won the semi-final. That was a fine effort from him. Closely, it was actually Cooper Russian as well on 13. On countback, he won the semi-final. But just a few.
Pavelchek looks like he's working on his own bike, which is good to see at that age.
Yeah. A lot of the bikes actually use the 250 use belt drives. That's on a chain there. You can clearly see the chain, but a lot of the 250 riders actually use the belt drive, probably because it produces just a little bit more power. So I thought most of them would be on it, but not that one. So we'll take a look at the gate success after the first 4 races for you. No race wins from the inside gate, which is a touch surprising. 2 out of gate number 2, 1 each from the outside 2 gates. That probably will change as the afternoon progresses.
Yeah, on the 500s, gate 1 is clearly the better gate.
Quite often is, yes. And gate 3 quite often here is a bit of a graveyard, but not so far. The youngsters bucking the trend a bit there. Riders just preparing themselves for heat number 5, where Bukowski, who failed to score in his first ride, will come out of gate number 1, 2 consecutive rides. He'll want to put that behind him straight away, because dropping 3 points in a 20 heat format, that's a tough one, isn't it?
I was just going to touch on that. It's a different mindset, 20 heats. It's a formula that obviously we were used to back in the day, before sort of semi-finals and finals came along in different competitions. But every point dropped is a point dropped, and if you're just heading for a semi-final, you can afford, okay, I've dropped 3 or 4 points, okay, I'm in the semi-finals, we can make a few changes, make up for it. Not the case. You've got to go out to win every single race in this format.
I think that was one of the actual, the drama of an individual world final, wasn't it? The fact that it really was pressure on right from the word go. You didn't have that comfort zone of being able to drop a few points and still make the latter stages. So something that you could argue was more dramatic.
Certainly as a rider it was. You dropped 1 point. Is that it? Is someone going to finish on 15?
Exactly right. So we are just waiting patiently, but interesting to see how it develops now as the afternoon progresses. Tony Rickardsson, of course, the 6-time World Speedway champion, is here promoting and launching his SGP4 bikes, and there will be a race meeting, the inaugural race meeting tomorrow here in MALILLA on the junior track, which is just behind the stadium. And I know there's a lot of attention and a lot of excitement about that.
He's sporting a new beard, Kelvin, that you're not too happy with, by all accounts.
I didn't say any such thing. I think that you're putting words in my mouth there. I think he's a very fine-looking man. So, anyway, on with the action once again. And riders are appearing on track for heat number 5. Freshly prepared track. And this will be the second rider for all these 4 riders moving into the second block of races. Inside line certainly was the fastest line in the opening 4 races. I think moving wide was detrimental. The 250s certainly just finding it difficult to generate pace away from there. And we've got, once again, a decent-looking lineup for you here. On the inside is Filip Bukowski, who failed to score first time out in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Szczerzak, who actually rode strongly for 2 points in his first ride. Gate number 3 in white is Damien Miller from Poland, and on the outside is Mitchell McDermott from Australia in yellow. Going to be tough from the outside there with a little bit of water going down. A long way from gate 4 here. It's a wide track, wide open, particularly on a 250.
Yes, yeah, the wider the track, the further it is from the outside gate. So it's going to be tough out there for young Mitchell, but it's going to be interesting to see Sven Szczerzak, see if he moves off the line this time, because he was riding strongly in his first one. Just left that hole up the inside. I think he was trying to run Paveljack wide, and Rasmus Carlsen came through on the inside. So let's see what he does here.
See if he's learned from that. Here we go then. Heat 5, tapes up. We're underway into the first corner, and on the inside is Bukowski this time. He's made a superstar, and he's cleared off actually out in front. Coming through in second place now is Damien Miller from Poland as well, though he doesn't sound very Polish with that name, but certainly he is. And looking good in second place, being chased hard around the outside there. And it's actually Miller around the outside. Szczerzak has got up the inside. Gone backwards there with that water on the track. Now all of a sudden McDermott coming through into third place, but Bukowski, after failing to score first time out, is certainly made a few adjustments here because he's flying in front.
Yeah, he seems to have made all the right adjustments, because he's riding a nice smooth line. He's really pulled out a decent lead as far as the 250s go. He's done very well to stretch it that far, but Szczerzak again, he's riding a bit wide. I tell you what, Mitchell McDermott's got plenty of speed. If he leaves any more holes like that, I can see him getting up the inside.
Here we go then. Fantastic way to bounce back for Bukowski. He'll be kicking himself not being amongst the points in heat number 4, but heat number 5 belongs to him. Good start, showed great pace, quite possibly not quite the right setup in his first ride in heat 4. Heat 5, though, a very different story. 3 points for Bukowski there. Szczerzak coming through in second place. Solid from Szczerzak, 2 points. Mitchell McDermott back in third place, 1 for him. And Damien Miller missing out. He was amongst the points early on there, Miller. Just riding the wrong line and just opened the door. But for Bukowski, a racing brain there. Certainly bike setup much improved for his second ride, and we'll see this again. It was a good start. This is much more like it from him.
Yeah, Bukowski on the inside makes a decent start, just goes away. They didn't see which way he went. Damien Miller there on the outside in white. A decent start from him, but he's just riding wrong place, wrong time there. We can see the rider in blue, Szczerzak, who's had a decent first ride. He just roars up the inside. A little bit of inexperience there, I think, from Damien Miller after the track grade. And then once again, Mitchell McDermott up the inside as young Damien Miller goes to the back. And tough ride for him after a decent start. Is in second place around the first turn, and then comes under fire from everybody. Just got caught on the outside, everybody up the inside of him.
Yeah.
But Szczerzak, once again, 2 more points. Solid start from him, but no doubt Bukowski will be happy with that win after failing to score first time out.
Yes, that gets him back on track, and he'll be much more enthusiastic about his upcoming rides after a disappointing opening one. But in this 20 heat format, dropping 3 points in your first ride is not ideal. So here we go then, heat number 6, and we're up at tapes. And an interesting lineup here, that's for sure. We've got some race winners here.
This one.
Yeah, this is a terrific ride. William Kearns on the inside in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Casper Mania. Gate number 3 in white is Max Paveljack, and off the outside is Bo Bailey. This is quite some lineup. Couple of heat winners here off gates 1 and 4. Tapes up and we go away, and Bailey's made a good start on the inside. No, he hasn't quite managed to get there because Mania there actually just got the better of him as he entered the first corner. Bailey trapped wide now, is coming under threat. Certainly very much so from Paveljack. It's like Paveljack has made his way nicely through into second place, but Mania there certainly really was determined on the entrance to the first corner.
Yeah, cracking stuff from Mania. Does start as one of the favourites, got the experience, decent round last year in Wrocław. And you can see there William Kearns at the back. Disappointing for him after a decent ride first time out, but it's all about Mania at the front. Pavelchak, 2 points, dropping another point for someone who started this meeting as favourite. A little bit of a disappointing start to the meeting for him.
Yeah, quite possibly, but there's certainly Magno, who showed good speed in his first ride, picking up 2 points, is going to pick up 3 here. Super ride from him. And it's a Polish 1-2 there in heat number 6, with Magno and Pavelchak coming through 1-2 there. And for Magno, puts himself right in contention with that. And he'll be pleased with that. Disappointment for William Kearns there after a really strong display in his first ride, misses out. So Magno out in front, 3 points for him. Pavelchak back in second place, 2 points. Bo Bailey, 1 point for him, and William Kearns at the back in heat number 6. But as I say, for Kasper Magno, that's all right. 5 points from 2 rides. Puts himself well in contention at this early stage.
Yeah, he does. Decent ride for Kasper Magno. Just got over the top there of William Kearns. At this point, William Kearns is in second place. He's elected to move to the outside, try to keep his momentum, try to keep it smooth. But he's opened up that gap for Pavelchak. And as I said, he did start the meeting as one of the favourites. You know he's going to have the speed. And once he got on the inside line there, he pulled away from Williams. Another mistake there for him. Let's Bo Bailey through. So tough ride for Williams after getting ready. You can see there the mistake just overturns the bike immediately. As soon as he does it, he knows he's stopped the momentum. Looks over his shoulder, it's all over hit for him.
Sure, you've pointed out that if you turn the bike too hard here, you're going to kill your momentum, and it really quite clearly penalises you.
And you can see how aware of it they are. The minute they do it, they're looking over the shoulder to see who's coming.
Sure, they must feel the loss of power and drive in the bike. So heat number 7, where we'll see the champion once again going from the inside gate this time and looking to back up his performance in his first ride. Mikael Andersen off the inside in red then. Alongside him in blue is Vilads Pedersen from Denmark. Off the gate number 3 in white is Alfred Abberg. Changed his bike. Otto Rack from the outside from Finland in yellow. So quite clearly making an adjustment straight away, going for the second bike. Abberg looking for better. Actually had I think he actually had an engine failure and possibly was forced upon him from his first ride. But Mikael Andersen on that inside gate. No winners from the first 4 rides from gate number 4. May well change now.
Yeah, look out for Pedersen in this one. Had a decent ride first time out, coming from last to second.
Here we go then. We're underway, and Andersen's made a really good start once again. Silky smooth to the first corner. Pedersen, his compatriot, coming through into second place. Got speed down the back straight as well. Looked threatening there for a moment. We're looking at the sky with the onboard. And riders as well. We're getting all of it in there. What a shot!
In the scenery,
what a shot that is! Fantastic stuff. But out in front, Mikael Andersen being chased hard by Vilads Pedersen, who's the '85 youth world champion in Holstead just a few days ago. But Andersen hunched over the handlebars, looking set for another win.
Yeah, riding smooth as you like, riding around the inside, not doing any. I tell you what though. That Vilads Pedersen has really got some speed in his bike. When he gets his wheels in line, he's certainly as quick as Mikael Andersen, the reigning champion.
Strong here.
Probably looks a little bit lighter, and to be honest, that's going to give you plenty of speed on these 250s. Really having a look up the inside now.
Andersen having to slam the door shut as they complete the race, and he hangs on because Pedersen was coming there. Half a mistake from Andersen, and Pedersen would have been through. Good ride from both of them, but Mikael Andersen, the reigning champion, starts his defence of his title off with 2 consecutive wins, maximum score. So clearly chuffed to bits with that. Andersen out in front, 3 points. Fine ride from Pedersen in second place, 2 points for him. Alfred Abbo picks up his first point of the afternoon, and Otto Rack from Finland missing out in heat number 7. Mikael Andersen out in front here, Chris, but he didn't really have it all his own way. He had to work hard for this because Pedersen looked really threatening.
Yeah, Mikkel's one of the bigger lads, and he's obviously carrying a little bit more weight because of that, and I think that's the difference we were seeing here as Vilads Pedersen was giving chase, as Mikkel makes a cracking start off the inside gate. And Vilads Pedersen clearly been watching the previous heats because he's turned straight back to the inside, doesn't get tempted to look to the outside on that first turn. But he was carrying, I think, even how quickly he caught Mikael Andersen up actually surprised even him. So, but he's just kept it wound on all race long, and each lap he made up another half a yard and was right on the tail.
And both those bikes out in front, we were looking at a bike and they were working it in the pits, had a chain on. Both the bikes out in front had belt drives on. And as I say, they do seem to be the choice of drive for the 250s, where they're looking for every ounce of power they possibly can get. Heat number 8, line up for you, is Rasmus Carlsen off the inside in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Leo Klassen. Alex Adamson off of gate number 3 in white, and Cooper Russian off the outside in yellow. Rasmus Carlsen with a fine win in his opening ride, and gate number 1 winning last time out. He'll be hoping to repeat that here in heat number 8, which will complete the second block of races. Every rider will have had a couple of rides. Just waiting for young Cooper Russian to come forward now. He comes forward now. Here we go then, heat number 8. Green light is on, tapes are up, and they're roaring towards the first corner. Gate number 3 this time is superb from Adamson from Australia. He hits the front, but he's gone wide there. He's left the door open there for Carlsen. Carlsen takes full advantage, charges up the inside into turns 3 and 4. Certainly it's a neck-and-neck battle out in front here between Carlsen and Adamson. Alex Adamson there taking full advantage. The wide line just not working with the 250s. Round the inside certainly is, and that's a fine ride.
Yeah, Cooper Russian's made a lot of ground up as he roars up the inside there of Klassen. But it's all about Rasmus Carlsen out front. Very similar to his first ride. He got up the inside in that one too. Tell you what, Cooper Russian's made a lot of ground up after a dreadful mistake from the start. Up the inside now of Adamson. Looks like he's got the speed to get by him.
He's trying awfully hard. He's coming on strong after a mistake at the back. He's stretching the throttle cable. I don't know if he's got a long action throttle there, but his elbow's almost touching his knee down the straight.
Looks like an ice speedway rider.
He does indeed, but out in front, super win there from the man with the red helmet colour on, Rasmus Carlsen. Super stuff from him. He remains unbeaten, and the Swedes have got a potential champion there. Looking good, celebrating in style. Good race for second. Really was, with Adamson and Russian really going handlebar to handlebar there. But Rasmus Carlsen could be a surprise package here. Not many people talking about him prior to the event, but picks up another win there. 3 points for Carlsen. Adamson back in second place, 2 points. Cooper Russian, all action in third, 1 point for him. And Leo Klassen from Sweden missing out in heat number 8. But Carlsen was away. We see the point scores after 2 rides each. 6 for Carlsen and Anderson. Casper Mania back on 5. Bo Bailey of Australia on 4. So is Pedersen. Szczerjak from Slovenia likewise. Cairns on 3 and Bukowski on 3. And Pavelšak actually only on 3 as well. So work to be done for the Polish rider. But for Anderson and Carlsen, the ideal start from both of them. They'll be chuffed to bits. Just hope that they can keep the momentum going for 3 more races. Of course, they haven't met each other yet, but good ride from Carlsen here, an accomplished one.
Yeah, brilliant ride from Carlsen. It's Adamson that actually hits the front with a cracking start from gate 3. You can see the mistake there from Cooper Russian. He's just getting far too much traction. Actually does very well to stay on the bike there. He's sitting on the mudguard at that point, and when they get to the corner, he's about 50 yards behind. So to get himself up to challenging for second place was quite some ride from him. But meanwhile, out front, it's all about Rasmus Carlsen. Gets up the inside once again, just as he did in his first ride up the inside of him. So this is where now Russian is rushing his way past the rider in blue, Klassen, but made a lot of ground up, wasn't quite enough. But Rasmus Carlsen only qualified in 7th place in semi-final 1. So this is a cracking start to the meeting for him.
It is. It's terrific for Sweden as well. Leo Klassen there making a mistake at the back, and that costs him any opportunities. But look at that. Rasmus Carlsen out in front. Terrific. And it's brilliant stuff. But no, Rasmus Carlsen, 6 points to his name at this stage after 2 rides. Will be feeling chuffed to bits, and could be a surprise package. Could a home rider pick up the World Championship here this afternoon? What a success story that would be. And just needs to keep his composure moving forward. So we'll be able to get some more reaction now for you with MALILLA. We've got the 3-time former world champion. Nikki Pedersen is joining her now.
Exactly, Nikki Pedersen is joining us, team manager Denmark. First of all, I need to ask you about the overall experience about SGP3 because so far we have a very good action. It might be smaller engines, less power, less speed, but there's whatsoever no less emotions, action on the track.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about setup, you know, and the right lines on the tracks and stuff like that, you know. So it's just, you know, half this, you know, I wouldn't even say half the speed, but they have a lot of speed out there, you know, and there are a lot of close races. So I think it's great Speedway, you know, and they really learn a lot in the 250s here. So it's so far so good for Denmark as well.
So far so good for Denmark as well, as you mentioned. Mikael Andersen, who's defending the title from last year, already is doing really, really well. 6 points so far. You must be proud.
Yeah, I'm very proud. You know, Erik had to look after them for many years. You know, so it's you know, Mikael Andersen here is one of them. You're one of a kind. You know, he's so professional. His dad used to ride himself, and the equipment he has. You know, so it's a privilege to have a guy like him. You know, on the team like Denmark. So so far, you know, it's a new system for him. You know, because it's, you know, he's current later, and he's the one. You know, he have to not defend himself, but everybody want to beat him. So it's something new, and he's up for that. You know, he just needs to do it as good as he did last year.
After each heat, you come over to either to Mikael or Vilas as well. What kind of questions they ask you? What kind of advice you give them?
Yeah, I mean, it is about the lines. If they're fast enough, they're sitting correct on the bike and stuff like that. You know, and again, it's a very privilege that they come and ask me. You know, because I have been through everything, and I think, you know, that is what they need. They need somebody that remember, that respect, and then the knowledge I have. You know, so I feel free, you know, to come and ask me whatever they like, you know, and I help them, you know, for small details that makes a lot of difference.
Mikael is getting ready for another race, but I need to ask you also about Vilas Pedersen, because to be clear, he's not related to you at any point.
No, but I have played with his dad, you know, since I was 10 years old, so I know him very well. We're from the same village, you know, so I know them, you know, and I also helped them a lot, you know, over the last couple of years with few things, equipment, where should we buy this and that, you know, so it's a very good family, you know, and they, you know, Vilas, it's a good guy, you know, he loves his Speedway, you know, and now it's new of him on the 250, and then tomorrow he ride on the 190, you know, so he loves the sport, you know, and as we see, he have 2 second places, you know, and 250 is new for him, so so far so good for him also.
You know, when your last name is Pedersen, you have something to defend.
Well, always when it's Pedersen.
Thank you so much, Nick.
Thank you.
Smashing interview there with Nicky Pedersen, and clearly enjoying his afternoon here in MALILLA. And the Danish boys going along very nicely indeed. You know, it's Pedersen actually is having a busy week, but he's a youngster, of course, but he won in Holsted in Denmark the 85cc Youth Championship. Riding here this afternoon in the SGP3 final. Also riding in the SGP4s tomorrow, so gaining all sorts of experiences in 1 week. It's quite incredible.
He doesn't care what bike it is, does he? 85ccs, 250ccs, 190ccs, he just gets on with it. Great to see.
It is great to see, and quite clearly a rider that is full of enthusiasm. We'll see how he progresses this afternoon. Mikael Andersen out here again in heat number 9. He'll want to keep it rolling on. Is Brian Andersen there? Is his father in the background there? He's grown a bit, actually, since last year, so quite clearly he's probably ready for a 500 any minute.
Happens at this age.
Yeah, any minute now. So, as you rightly pointed out, Chris, possibly weight does come into it. You know, when you look at the size of the young rider there, Bo Bailey, on the inside, he's significantly smaller than Mikael Andersen now. So
yeah, with the smaller engine, you know,
yeah,
power to weight ratio becomes a much bigger thing.
So a few last-minute adjustments there for Cooper Russian now, just preparing himself for heat number 9. Certainly eye-catching Kevlar's there.
Yeah, teamwear as well.
Indeed, so he's just making his way out to get himself ready for heat number 9.
Competitive race this, actually. They're all races from what we've seen so far. And Mikael Andersen's got to come off the outside gate, which is going to be tough. He's had a couple of inside gates so far.
Yeah, he's got gate number 4, you pointed out, gate number 4 twice. And it is a long way there from there, but
this is where he'll be truly tested, I think.
Yeah, possibly, quite possibly. If he doesn't make it, he will have to chop back to the inside. I can't see that big blast round the outside in the first corner really working, and they've put a little bit more water back down now as well, and the track is riding pretty slick. There isn't a lot of grip on it here. I've seen a lot more grip here in years past. Potentially for the 250s, that's appropriate. Bo Bailey, you can see how small he is, you know, like the bike pretty much dwarfs him in truth, whereas Mikkel Andersen looks like he's a giant on the bike, and he's really growing into himself now. And I know that he has been doing some 500cc testing back in Denmark already, so preparing himself for the senior ranks very soon. So on the inside is Bo Bailey from Australia in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Cooper Russian. Gate number 3 in white is Sven Šežák. And Mikkel Andersen, the champion, unbeaten so far this afternoon off the outside in yellow. Can he keep it going now? Big race this for him. If he can do this now, he'll really stamp his authority on the SGP3 final, that's for sure.
Yeah. Be interesting to see if young Cooper Russian can get a bit of fresh air. He looks quick once he gets going.
Oh, yeah, he's all action. I love the way he stretches the throttle cable. I mean, he might just need to reposition his right hand because his elbow seems to be dragging along the floor at times. But great to see. Here we go then, heat number 9. Third ride for all riders. We're underway. Bailey made a good jump from the inside, but a better one out of gate number 3 there. Superb start there from Šežák, who's having a great afternoon. He had to come to second place. He fires himself to the front. Andersen into second place. Bailey back in third, but the man from Slovenia out in front. This is a bit of a shock on the cards here, and he's pulling away out in front.
He's riding confidently out front. He's not creeping right around the curb. He's just moving off. Feels he's got to get that little bit of traction. He looks a lot more lightweight than the guy chasing him, Mikkel Andersen. But of course, Mikkel Andersen is the reigning champion. He's got all that experience. Doesn't seem to have an answer right now for Šežák.
Šežák out in front, going great guns. Superb start from gate number 3. Winding it on with a lap to go. Mikkel Andersen, will he drop his first point of the afternoon? Bailey from Australia back in third place. Šežák's got this, barring any dramas through this last corner. And this is a fine effort from the boy from Slovenia. He's going to move on to 7 points. Wow, that's a big move there from Šežák. Another surprise package. We didn't really know much about these youngsters, and certainly that is a major surprise. Clearly chuffed to bits with the ride as well, and rightly so. Beating the defending champion for the first time this afternoon. Fair play to him. 3 points for Šežák out in front. 2 points for Mikkel Andersen. Drops a point for the first time here in MALILLA. Bo Bailey back in third. 1 point, and Cooper Russian missing out in heat number 9. I didn't see that one coming, but Mikkel Andersen still moving on to 8 points. No disaster, but a great ride.
Yeah.
From Šežák from gate 3.
Yeah, brilliant start from the young Slovenian. He hits the front there. And we see another mistake there from Cooper Russian on the first turn. But no, brilliant race for Šežák. Rode confidently as well. He didn't just ride right around the curve defensively. He rode where he thought he was going to maximise his speed. And throughout the race, each lap, he just kept pulling a little bit clearer and gave himself a little bit of a comfort zone before the final lap. Rightly excited. That's a big race win against the reigning champion.
It is indeed. And all of a sudden, moving on to 7 points, he puts himself well and truly in the frame. So, fine effort from him. And as you say, he had one sneaky high mum. Yep, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Relax, mum. Stop biting your fingernails or hiding behind the sofa. It's all going okay. But
nice
nonetheless, it was a fine effort. Heat number 10, Alex Adamson from Australia on the inside in red. Damien Miller from Poland off gate number 2 in blue. Gate number 3 in white from Denmark is Vilas Pedersen. And off the outside is Max Pavelšák, who needs a big ride. He's in yellow, and he needs a big ride. He's only got 3 points from his first 2 rides, and he was one of the pre-meeting favourites after a fine display on Wednesday in Vestervik. Hasn't started like that, so desperate for a win, that man now. Heat number 10, settling down on the start line. Riders just behaving themselves now. Green light is on, tapes are up, and we're away, and they go roaring into the first corner, and it's
Adamson.
all about Adamson from Australia from that inside gate. Pavelšák there just getting blasted wide, and he's at the back, and that's disappointment from him once again into second place. Oh, big crash there.
Yeah.
Miller there just overlocking and almost coming
crash
to a head there, and Pedersen running into him. Let's hope everybody's okay. And just called out there, slightly greasy conditions, but let's hope that everyone's okay.
Yeah,
I think
it was
they will
awkward
be.
for-
I think
yeah.
there will be, but
Awkward for Pedersen. He just changed his mind, I think, and just decided to cut back to the inside, running across the corner. All the angles a little bit tough for him as Damian Miller there just locked up.
yeah, he was sat right down in the bike, and the bike just literally moved round on him in there and just killed all his momentum as the rider behind him, Pedersen, had made that dart to the inside and just coming together. Jesper Steentoft now will have to determine who was at fault. Of course, somebody will be excluded here. I suggest it probably will be Miller, I think. But you never can tell, but I sense that it could well be Damian Miller that will be excluded. We'll wait and see. The referee will be looking at some of the replays just to determine who is. This man now, Babelshak, it hasn't gone to plan after a stunning display in the semi-final. Gate number 4, well, it's tough from there, and he was out the back. So he has got a second chance here, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he just doesn't seem to be... He's not making starts, he's not making the best of the first turn. So he's had a tough start to today.
Yeah, he has. But while we're focusing on that, of course, Jesper Steentoft is having to make a big decision here. Who's going to get excluded from heat number 10? We wait patiently for that decision to see which way it's going to go. Obviously, it'll be hard on both boys, to be honest, but it did appear to me that...
yeah. Damian Miller there. I mean, he stopped the bike completely.
Pedersen had
Not a
nowhere
lot
to go,
Pedersen
did he?
could do. No, not at that point.
It's got to be Miller, isn't it?
A lot of speed into that corner. Yeah, he stopped the bike. For me, it is. He does get tangled up in both bikes. A very awkward crash for him.
Just see, keep your eyes on the man in... Both riders are up on their feet, which is good. Nasty high side, awkward crash, thrown heavily onto his shoulder, so
winded.
Certainly going to be feeling a bit knocked about after that. But Miller's rear tyre letting go there, it stops the bike, and very unfortunate for Pedersen, just could not avoid the Polish rider there.
I think he had Pedersen had just decided to defend from Pavelchak on the inside, and then of course he's put himself in that vulnerable position. Once Miller's locked up, nothing he could do about it.
No. Not at all. So I think that's a fairly straightforward decision, to be perfectly honest. But more importantly, I think over and above that...
I think he was probably waiting just to let them both up on their feet before he announces his decision.
Quite possibly. Riders making their way back towards the pit. So we have had it confirmed now that Damian Miller from Poland is disqualified. Clearly some upset there as well. Emotions... certainly for the youngsters running high, and also just taking every precaution to make sure that they are okay.
Yeah, Damian Miller there just making his way to the medical room.
Certainly, I presume that was Viledz Pedersen there, quite upset about that incident, so that's not what you want to see, but racing at times can be tough, and that was one of those moments. No fault of his own, though, really.
Absolutely not, no.
No, you can't blame himself at all for that. It's just one of those unfortunate scenarios. Maybe in for a small delay here. It may just be that he's in a lot of discomfort, actually. Because he did land awkwardly on his shoulder, that's for sure.
Did, yeah.
You can see the blue exclusion light on there for Damian Miller. So he will not be in the rerun here, so disappointment for him. But for Viledz Pedersen, quite clearly feeling very uncomfortable. Erik Gundersen there, who has been part of the DMU's training and coaching for the youngsters for, wow, at least 2 decades, I would suggest, maybe more. So
interesting dynamic down there, because you've got these men who are hardened sportsmen. They've had all the rigours of racing, and they're just dealing with the younger guys that are learning what all this means. And it's interesting to see, and it's nice to see that these guys are all taking such an interest.
Yep. Denmark retaining some of their world champions into the system, which is good, because that experience, like with Nicky Pedersen now, we've had Hans Nielsen, Erik Gundersen has been part and parcel of the setup for, as I say, probably 30 years, if I'm thinking about it. He's been around.
Yeah.
Obviously, Erik was a 3-time world champion, so being able to pass that on to youngsters is hugely important. But quite clearly, Viledz Pedersen just feeling the effects of that. And you're right, because Speedway isn't all great. You know, there are times when it can be really tough.
It can be great.
Yeah, I know, but there's no doubt that you have your ups and downs, and certainly Vilad's there just having a bit of a thump, and probably just a bit of a shock to the system. And it's just, you know, as a professional rider, you have to you know, Nicky Pedersen knows all about that. He's been involved in 1 or 2 scenarios, and no better man to be able to just give a bit of advice. He will be in the rerun. Let's hope he can take his place in the rerun, because
looks like. I mean, he's walking back. He's young. I'm pretty sure he will be.
He's had a couple of second places. He's lying on 4 points after 2 rides. So
he's got speed.
Yeah, he
definitely got speed.
So Rennie Schaefer, the race director for the youngsters, there as well, just reassuring Vilads that there's time. Rennie Schaefer will be the one that gives the instruction to the referee to actually put the 2 minutes on.
What are these guys saying to him? And he's only dropped 2 points. 3 race wins here gives him a great chance of being a world champion, and I'm sure that's pretty much what they're telling him.
I think they're just trying to make sure that his mindset is okay, that he's actually, you know, prepared to ride the bike again.
I'm sure
I think if he can, he should.
Got to get back on the horse.
Yeah, agreed. And I think, clearly quite knocked about. And it was quite a thump. When you go over the high side, that track is rock hard. It's like concrete. It feels concrete. We've all experienced it. Broken collarbones are... Well, we actually saw it on Monday night in British Speedway, where Louis Kerr actually flipped over and broke his collarbone. We'll see it again with... You see here, the back tyre of Miller there, letting go, and just wrong place, wrong time, unfortunately.
Yeah, and a scary moment for young Vilads, because he can see it coming. At this point, he knows he's going to collect him. He knows there's going to be a big crash. So, yeah, clearly knocked his confidence, and this is where the guys around him with all the experience just got to say the right things.
Could he have done anything? Could he have done anything different?
No. No, I mean, yeah, he could have laid it down, but it was happening all very quickly in front of him. Possibly someone with more experience would have got the bike laid down at an angle that would have seen him go underneath the bike and rider, but there wasn't a lot he could do there.
No, he's knocked around and bumped and bruised, but we are hearing that he will be ready for the rerun, which is good news. Obviously, a heavy landing there. You can see that quite clearly, and it's a shock to the system as well mentally. As you say, you know it's going to happen. It's something you don't want to happen, and for these youngsters, quite clearly, a new experience.
Yeah, at that age, it's vital to have this support team of family and friends around him.
And he's got plenty of that, so let's hope that he can recompose himself. And at the very worst here, as long as he completes, he'll get a point. So that will put him on the score chart once again. 2 minutes is on. Riders back up at tapes for the restaging of heat number 10 then. Adamson on the inside from Australia there, just doing a little bit of gardening. An opportunity for Pawelczak now from Poland. And he'll be trying to make amends after a steady start. Certainly a pre-meeting favourite, particularly after the performance on Wednesday in Västervik. So let's just hope this guy's in the right frame of mind here.
Yeah,
looks a little bit reluctant, but maybe when the green light comes on, then the adrenaline will kick in and he'll be underway. So line up then for the restart of heat number 10. On the inside is Alex Adamson from Australia. No rider in gate number 2. Pedersen out of gate number 3 in white, and off the outside is Pawelczak in yellow. So say an opportunity for Pawelczak to get amongst the bigger points this time. Here we go then. Long pause this time.
Oh, much better start from the outside.
Much better start from Pawelczak, and Max Pawelczak has taken full advantage of the restaging of Heat 10. We so often see it. Fires himself to the front and is winding it on, hugging the inside. Through into second place is Adamson from Australia, and Pedersen is in third place. Excuse me, once again showing good speed. Adamson's run wide, but just sense there's a little bit of caution there shown from Pedersen back in third place, but Pawelczak out in front. This is just what the doctor ordered for him. He's away out in front.
Yeah, Pawelczak showing the sort of speed that took him to that victory in his semi-final, stretching now over Adamson. And as you rightly say, young Pedersen there, he's had a big crash in the first attempt to run this race. He just sense there's a little bit more caution there in this one.
Indeed there is. He's a country mile out in front, this man. He's into the last corner on the last lap. And he will take this with open hands. Delight there. He's on the score chart big time there in heat number 10. Clearly delighted with it. And he gets his meeting on track. And there are 4 Polish riders here. And the Poles are very keen to produce youngsters. And once again, they're producing some smart riders here at the under-16 level. Pawelczak out in front, 3 points for him. Adamson from Australia back in second place, 2 points. Vilas Pedersen picks up a point in third, and Damien Miller fails to score because of the exclusion. So we get heat 10 done and dusted, and it's a good one for Max Pawelczak. Great start from the outside this time.
No mistake this time, just rockets forward. You can see there the bike lifting, has to grab a little bit of clutch just to keep the front wheel down, and gets across Adamson on the first turn and just checks out from there. Young Vilas there just lifting a little bit too much. That's killed his momentum. Gets off the gas into the first turn. And I think Adamson will be a little bit disappointed. He'd made a decent start in the first attempt to run this race. But Pawelczak does not need a second invitation. And hits the front. Just having a little look at that exhaust pipe on his bike there. It's actually got what they call a bomb on it, which actually increases the torque at lower RPMs to help the smaller engine.
Okay, well pointed out. We are hearing that young Damien Miller will not take any further part in the meeting, and that's a shame for him after that heavy fall in heat number 10. So all our best wishes with him. I hope he can make a speedy recovery. Heat number 11, riders are at tapes already, and we are looking for another Swedish rider here, and he's on the inside in red, Leo Klassen. Gate number 2 in blue is Mitch McDermott. Gate number 3 in white is Otto Rack, and William Kearns from the UK is off the outside in yellow this time. He needs points. To be honest, all 4 riders need points here, so an opportunity for them in heat number 11. Tapes up now. Good reaction off gate 2, but it's a boy. Oh my goodness, where's he going off the inside? He's gone from the inside to the outside there. Klassen there got it all wrong on the entrance.
Yeah, race has been stopped.
The red lights are on, and I fear that young Leo Klassen there might be an all-4 back, but he certainly
will be all-4. But Otto there definitely took a nudge.
Yeah, he straightened up at the vital moment there, young Klassen on the inside, and basically gave Otto Rack no real chance at all on the entrance to the first corner. He's up and about, but it's going to happen, you know.
Looking a little bedraggled there, isn't he?
Yeah, he looks a bit knocked about, yeah, but we'll see it again.
Yeah, Otto Rack definitely taking a knock from the inside. We can see there. Oh, yeah, the rider in red, Leo Klassen, just comes straight across, whacks into it. I'd be surprised if he's not excluded, but might be a little lenient. There, he's come into the corner, all the wrong angle. He's gone across the curb before he even gets to the first turn. And it's a struggle then to turn the bike. His own mistake, rattles into him. Could be all 4. I get a feeling that the referee's going to be lenient and put all 4 back in, but he could go.
Yeah, he's got the bike. He's all out of shape there.
Way too early. Then he's got to turn right to miss the curve.
Untidy.
Yeah.
But I think in a senior Grand Prix he'd be excluded.
Yeah.
But as I say, there may be some leniency shown here. There's the problem. He's straightened up. He's trying to turn the bike, and unfortunately he's running wide. He's running across the corner right in front of Otto Rack.
No question he's caused the stoppage. It's just whether the referee feels it's going to be lenient or not, because it's the first turn.
Yeah, we're having it confirmed, and a leniency has been shown. And I think young Leo Klassen has got away with that one.
He has. Yeah.
Otto Rack clearly frustrated with that. There'll be another pause here while he just gets himself organised for the restaging. But yeah, just untidy going to the first corner there. The bike sort of went to the left and then it straightened up, and it was just a bit messy. But hopefully second time around they'll be able to get away cleanly. So riders now making their way forward for heat number 11. And, no real surprise to see a few reruns here, but riders just, I think with the 250s, they can be a little bit unpredictable with the way they react away from the start. We saw that quite clearly there with Leo, just a bit unbalanced going to the first corner and causing himself a few problems. So riders now just beginning to move forward for the restart. As I say, Leo Klassen there. Probably counting his chickens a little bit, because Otto Rack was cleaned up in the first corner. So here we go. Let's hope they get away cleanly this time. Green light's on, and the tapes are up, and we're away. And once again, Klassen's made a
decent start from the outside.
Yeah, Klassen there on the inside. His bike's packed up. Oh, my goodness, how on earth did they all miss him there down the back straight? That certainly was hard, the amount of stuff there. But it's benefited Kearns from the outside. He's hit the front and winding it on, looking good. And McDermott from Australia into second place with Otto Rack, who was on his backside just a few minutes ago, back in third. But William Kearns taking full advantage from the outside, just like Pavelchak did in the previous race, looking good in front.
Yeah, he'd made a decent start, got a little bit fortunate down the back straight as Klassen packed up, but taking full advantage of this, and this will be another race win. It's disappointing in his second ride to run a last.
Yeah.
Those 3 big points drop, but if he can win races now, he's going to give himself some hope.
Possible to get on the rostrum. Who knows? We'll wait and see. But the young British rider out in front, winding it on. McDermott's coming on strong in second place, but he's not going to get there. And young William Kearns, it's close in the end. It was tight indeed, but Kearns has done enough there and sent him through to the 3 points and put his meeting on track. And once again, chuffed to bits about winning races, there's no doubt about that. Leo Klassen unfortunate there, packing up, but Kearns out in front, 3 points for him. McDermott back in second place, 2 points. Otto Rack, 1 point for him, and Leo Klassen with a bike failure fails to score in heat number 11. But second time of asking, this young man comes through in flying colours, and you've got to say that he may just regret that second ride, but we'll wait and see. Certainly the bike powers forward there.
Yeah, he doesn't make the best of starts, but he gets to the corner, and just as they go down the back, always tell you what, both the riders there, McDermott and Otto Rack, very fortunate to miss him. One either side of him. There wasn't an awful lot of room, but William Kearns takes full advantage of this. He'd made a good start from gate 4. It's tough from there, and he'd given himself a chance. And it was just at that point when Klassen packs up, really stops the run of McDermott, lost all his speed. So
Rack did well to avoid him when you see that view from behind.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, a tough race that for Otto Rack, one way and another, but great 3 points there. Close in the end at the finish, but great 3 points for William Kearns.
Heat number 12 will complete 3 riders for everybody. And we're well past the midway point now. So on the inside in red is Philip Bukowski, the win last time out. Gate number 2 in blue is Rasmus Carlsen, unbeaten so far. Kasper Mania on 5 points out of gate number 3 in white, and Alfred Abberg off the outside in yellow. Big race for the 2 boys on gates 2 and 3 here, battling it out. Carlsen a surprise package, but going along very nicely indeed.
Yeah, and of course, Bukowski was a winner last time out after failing to score in his first one.
Yeah, so a big race in prospect in Heat 12 to complete 3 rides each. But for Rasmus Carlsen, it's all about composure now. Can he keep it going? Doesn't want to think about it too much. He started the meeting impeccably. He has been terrific. Here we go, Heat 12, Start Marshall moves away, tapes are up, and they go charging into the first corner. It's tight into the first corner, but certainly Mania there just squeezes his way around the outside and forces himself to the front. Here comes Carlsen up the inside, unbeaten so far, hugging that inside line. It's going to be tight, very tight as they enter turn 1 on the second time. Carlsen and Mania out in front, battling hard. Mania there just about holding on, but it's tight once again into turns 3 on the second lap. Mania now winding it on, certainly looking good. Abberg back in third place and Bukowski out the back. Good battle for first and second.
Yeah, great battle. And I tell you what, Kasper Mania really showing a lot of skills there for someone with limited experience as these guys have got. To keep his momentum, the bike lurched forward. He didn't lock it up to keep down light. He just let it keep going, and it did the right thing. But I tell you what, a lot of pressure from Carlsen there. He wants to go into the 4th round of races unbeaten, and I tell you what, he's putting him under a lot of pressure still.
Last corner then, and heat number 12, and it's a terrific win out in front. Super ride there from Kasper Mania, one of the pre-meeting favourites. And he keeps his championship on track there with that. That's a good ride from him. I tell you what, Rasmus Carlsen there back in second place. Once again, solid work from him. Mania out in front, 3 points. Rasmus Carlsen, 2 points for him, moving on to 8. Alfred Abberg picks up a point, and Philip Bukowski, well, he's up and down like a yo-yo here this afternoon. Mikkel Andersen on 8, as is Mania, as is Carlsen. So that race win there for Mania, very important. Scherchek back on 7. Lyons on 6, as is Pavelchak, Bowley on 5, and 5. So it's nicely now after 3 rides each. A real chase for the after 3 rides, really is.
Yeah, and
coming along.
The last, that's going to be right first turn. This was Romania really wasn't going to be moved out the way by Carlson as he ran into the first turn really hard. Fair play to Rasmus Carlsen. And it would have been easy to back out on the way to that turn
tight.
with riders either side of him. Casper Mania really rode this race very, very confidently, out using the dirt. There was one lap, it might be this lap here, where the bike just lifts and turns right. No, it's not that one. Right on the back, looking for every last bit of traction. And Carlsen, there it was. Left leg comes out, does very well to keep his momentum. And just unable to find the extra half a yard to get up the inside of it.
He left the door half open there for a while, didn't he, there, Mania? But Carlsen wasn't able to squeeze his way through. But nonetheless, Mania, Carlsen, Anderson, all on 8 points. This is going to be a real shootout for the championship here this afternoon. No question about that. Building up very nicely with each rider having 2 programmed rides to come. Casper Mania, a pre-meeting favourite, going along very nicely. 4th last year, looking good at this stage after 3 rides. Smashing looking stadium, one of the better tracks actually. It really does produce some spectacular speedway. We've had some superb senior Grand Prix here, and we've got that to look forward to tomorrow, of course, as we'll see the inaugural SGP4 meeting as well, which will be launched with Tony Ricardson at the helm. And I know a lot of excitement has been about that. And we'll look at the gate stats again, once again now. This could make interesting reading. So a little bit unpredictable, but all square, as I say. There, it's pretty level pegging there. So pretty much what you want to see, in truth, so you can win from anywhere. I'm not quite sure that you can get to the first corner from every gate, but certainly
from gate 4.
It's been working with. So let's get some more reaction with Marcelina now. She's down in the pits.
Exactly, we are in the pits, and alongside me, team manager of Sweden, Morgan Andersson. First of all, I need to ask you, how many times did you hold your breath watching that last race and the competition between Rasmus and Mania?
Yeah, I expect a hard race there. You know, that's 2 very, very good riders. So yeah, that was exciting heat.
You must be very proud also with the result of Rasmus, because so far he was unbeaten, but Kacper was better of him. But still, this result is very nice.
Yeah, that's 3 guys on 8 points so far, and 2 program heats each left. So yeah, that will be on the line here, but hopefully some good starts and see if Rasmus can find a little bit more speed. Looks like Kacper had a little bit better setup there in the end of the straight, so see what we can do.
We have 3 representatives in today's lineup in SGP3. Can you tell us a little bit more about the future generation of Swedish riders? Do you have many volunteers coming into the sport?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we are the only country running 250 leagues, even if we have some English and some combination teams. So yeah, that's a great future. We have many 250 riders and more to come, I hope so. And then this 190 will help it as well for to help the future of riders. So yeah, I think that's good.
Speaking about the future of Speedway tomorrow, Speedway Grand Prix 4, the first ever event will be held here in MALILLA. What's your take on that new category of Speedway?
I was very impressed when I see the practice here with these guys. And the track was good too, and maybe a little bit too narrow, I think, with 4 riders like tomorrow, but I'm sure they will handle it good.
Obviously, we are waiting for a very nice, great emotions. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to hear from Morgan. He's been around the scene for a long time. He's been the Swedish coach, actually, for some considerable time now, but he must be pleased to see some youngsters coming through, because they need 1 or 2. We had to reflect on some of the action that we've seen so far. So just take a look back on the highlights from the first 12 races. So there we are then. Just a reflection of what we've seen so far as we build up to heat number 13. Great to see Ty Wolfenden in the pits, and looking forward to the Senior Grand Prix tomorrow, of course. Looking to turn his fortunes around. It hasn't been a great campaign for the former three-time world champion, but nonetheless it's good to see him here in attendance, and I'm sure he's excited about the prospects of tomorrow night's Grand Prix. And don't miss that. Big weekend here in MALILLA, Chris, with 3 major championships taking place with the 250s. Greg Hancock in attendance as well. But there's no doubt that it really is a festival of Speedway this weekend in MALILLA.
Yeah, and plenty of guys taking a lot of notice of it as well. I noticed Gino Manzaro's there, American rider, over in Sweden at the moment. And yeah, it's great. It's great to see, because we're actually getting a progression within the championship now with the 190s and then the 250s, and of course the younger guys with SGP2 as well on the 500. So it's really nice to see. It's a festival of young Speedway here.
Indeed it is, but we're up tapes now for heat number 13, and we're going to see young Sven Sierzak here once again, who's sitting nicely on 7 points, going along very nicely indeed. He's got gate number 4, not an easy task. William Kearns also has won a couple of rides here this afternoon as well, so big racing prospect once again.
It is, and Sierzak's been a great starter, so he's going to have a chance from the outside. He's just sitting 1 point behind that leading group of 3.
Not out of it at all, so we're just waiting for the last rider to appear, and that is Adberg from Sweden, just making his way out now. And might be difficult. Freshly prepared track, bit of water on it as well, could be a little bit greasy. We'll see how it works out for him. So the lineup for heat number 13 then is, on the inside is Alfred Adberg from Sweden. Gate number 2 in blue is Alex Adamson from Australia. William Kearns out of gate number 3 in white, and gate number 4 is Sierzak from Slovenia in yellow. As I say, you can see the water just glistening on the surface. It's a slick track as well. I think Kearns there was a bit keen.
Yeah, maybe pull back this one.
Has he got away with that? Can't believe he has.
I think he has. No, he hasn't.
No, he can't get away with that these days. Could back in the day, of course, but not now.
Back in the day, it was just called a good start.
Unfortunately, just a bit eager there, young Kearns. Will be a warning will be given. I don't know if he touched the tapes. I don't think he did.
I don't think so.
Don't think he did, but it got mighty close. But he'll be issued a warning. Let's watch it again. Make sure he doesn't touch the tapes.
3. He must have got very close, but I don't think he touches him.
Ooh.
No, he'll be okay.
Lucky boy. Anyway, he'll be back in the rerun, but he'll be carrying a warning for his remaining 2 rides as a consequence of jumping there and gaining an advantage. In modern-day Speedway, that is just not...
It's just not cricket.
Not cricket at all. For those of you who don't understand about cricket, I don't know if I've got enough time to explain. But nonetheless, we're back at tapes for the second time of asking. Yeah, so it's confirmed that young William Kearns will be carrying a warning now. So heat 13, pressure on. Clearly William Kearns was feeling it a little bit, but riders at the highest level do that as well. Alfred Adberg off the inside in red. Alex Adamson off gate number 2 in blue. William Kearns with a warning now out of gate number 3 in white. And Sven Sierzak from Slovenia off the outside in yellow with 7 points, going along very nicely. Can he produce another stunning ride here to put himself right in the championship picture? He's only a point behind the leaders. He's going well, very well. Bit of a surprise package, a bit like Carlson is as well. Here we go. Oh, he wound that bike up, it's gone nowhere, and Kearns has made a smashing start, flown out of gate number 3, fires himself to the front, set for another win, could be his 3rd win on the afternoon. Adamson from Australia into 2nd place, but young Kearns out in front. Here comes Sierzak up the inside into 3rd place, but Kearns out in front. If he sticks there, he's going to move on to 9. Certainly that'll be a fine ride. Oh, Sierzak all out of shape there.
Yeah, he got very out of shape. He's a proper racer, though, the young Slovenian. I do like watching him get stuck in, but meanwhile out front and stretching the cable. And, well, we're really stealing a march here. Pulled out a decent gap. William Kearns, very good start from gate 3. Absolutely determined and rocketed away with the best reaction. Looks comfortable, looks smooth on the bike. He's looking good out front.
Indeed he is. He's let's just hope he doesn't regret that 0 points in his 2nd ride, because since then He has been immaculate. Out in front then, young William Kearns through the last corner. Superb start. And an all-action start out in front. Wins comfortably there. And moves themselves on to 9 points. And clearly delighted with that. Congratulations to him. Back-to-back race wins for Kearns and doing a fine job. And Zizek there just dropping vital points, missing out that time. 3 points for Kearns then out in front. Alfred Agberg back in second place, 2 points. Adamson in third, 1. And Zizek, well, that's going to cost him dearly there, dropping points at a vital stage, Chris. Can't afford to do that in a 20-heat former, really.
No, he's on 7 points ahead of that race, doesn't collect any more here. Tough from the outside gate, particularly after these track grades, but he actually makes a poor start. He hasn't done that all night, it's been great, but the other end of the scale there in white, William Kearns rocketed away. Great reaction from him, got the bike all the way to the corner, clean as you like, and just went away from the opposition. Great ride, and there was a good ride as well for Agberg, who'd only scored a point before that ride, but he settles down in second place. See that mistake there from Zizek at the back, just overriding, over-trying, but he'll be disappointed with that last place.
Yeah, just possibly got the track at the wrong time there with gate number 4, and that's cost him dearly. See how he responds, but 7 points from 4 outings is going to be a tall order to make the top 3 now. But for that man, if he can win his last one and get on to 12 points, then who knows? He might have a chance of a medal here this afternoon. Heat number 14 on the inside is Pawelczak in red. Alongside him is Bukowski in blue. Gate number 3 in white is Leo Klassen. And off the outside, the reigning champion, Mikael Anderson, in yellow. Looking to produce once again here. Can he do it? I suggest he can, but from the outside, no easy task.
Yeah, Pawelczak can't afford to drop any more points either.
Here we are then, E14 tapes her up and they go charging into the first corner. Mikael Anderson trying to come across, hasn't quite managed to do that. Pawelczak round the inside is hugging that. Here comes Anderson up the inside now, squeezing into second place. That relegates the rider in blue there. Bukowski back into third, but Bukowski's responded. Back round the outside of Anderson, excuse me. He's coming now. Oh, that's tight there. This is drama now for the reigning champion, who's tailed off in third place. Out in front then, Pawelczak and Bukowski. It's a Polish 1-2. Shock on the cards here, Chris.
Bukowski doing a great job of defending. He's just covering the inside off the corner. He's left it wide open this time, but Mikael Anderson just doesn't seem to have the speed at the end of the straight. And I tell you what, this is 3 big points for Pawelczak. He couldn't afford to drop any more. And Mikael Anderson now really pushing hard on Bukowski.
Indeed he is. He's trying to force his way up into second place, but this is going to throw the championship wide open now, with Pawelczak after a steady start coming through now with a fine win. It's tight for second, but Bukowski holds on for second place. Max Pawelczak clearly chuffed to bits with that. What a ride from the inside. Gate number 4 really proving to be a hard task there for the reigning champion.
That's thrown it wide open, hasn't it?
It has indeed. And Anderson dropping 2 more points. Pawelczak out in front, 3 points for him. Bukowski back in second place, 2 points. Anderson, the reigning champion, drops 2 more points, 1 for him. And Leo Klassen missing out in heat number 14. And now, all of a sudden, this SGP3 final is anybody's. It really is. And it could well be run-off time, I would suggest, after 20 races. Here we go.
This race has really thrown it wide open. Decent start from Mikael Anderson off the outside, but it is tough from there. But the rider in red there, Pawelczak, has made a decent start from the inside. This race for me is all about the other Polish rider, Bukowski, as he just defends for his life that second place. He really wants to attack Pawelczak at this point, wants to get around the outside of him, but he's just got to keep stopping the run of Mikael Anderson up the inside. He keeps leaving the door open coming into the corners and then just covers it off coming out. Brave ride from Bukowski, but 3 big points for Pawelczak.
Well, Pawelczak moving on to 9 now, and he's put himself well and truly in the picture. It's getting awfully tight. Also there alongside 9 points also for William Kearns, who's had 3 wins here. So, as you rightly say, Chris, this championship is now up for grabs, certainly. And riders dropping points. And the very next race actually is very important for Kasper Manja. So the lineup for Heat 15 is Cooper Russian off the inside in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Otto Rack. Casper Mania out of gate number 3 in white. And Patrick Cruz coming in for Vilads Pedersen here. And, excuse me, not Vilads Pedersen, who won't be in the next race. It's actually Damien Miller that misses out as a consequence of the crash earlier on. So Patrick Cruz, who was in the series last year, or in the meeting in Wrocław, finishing 8th there. So he will go from the outside. Swedish rider. Here we go then. Big ride for Mania here. Can he get there from gate number 3? He has. He's nailed it. Oh, that's a big move from Casper Mania. Fantastic stuff from him. That really is going to stamp his authority now with riders dropping points. That's produced a stunning ride there at the vital moment. It's tight for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. It's all action there with Patrick Cruz now coming round the outside. It's his first ride of the afternoon and certainly is well and truly in the thick of the action. Look at Russian down the inside. Oh, wow, action-packed here. There's no question about that, with certainly Patrick Cruz in amongst it as well. But the main talking point, really and truthfully, is Casper Mania out in front, set for 3 points.
Yeah, Cooper Russian once again, certainly in the thick of the actions, got himself into just about got himself into 2nd place, but the reserve there, Cruz, not giving up. But you're right, it's all about Casper Mania. Wants to put the disappointment of missing out on the podium last year behind him. And this all will have just dropped 1 point, but again, the race is on for those 2 points.
Oh, tied out of the last corner, but it isn't for Casper Mania. He wins comfortably, and a vital win at that. And he's moving along beautifully now. Really is setting a strong claim for a world championship here this afternoon. Casper Mania now moving on to 11 points. Wow, that's impressive indeed, and he is the favourite. And a Polish rider who finished 4th, as you say, just off the rostrum last year in Wrocław, wins again here this afternoon. 3 points for him. Patrick Cruz coming in as a reserve there, picks up 2 points. Cooper Russian, all action in 3rd place, 1 for him. And Otto Rack from Finland missing out. But all of a sudden, Casper Mania is the main man here this afternoon in Melilla, that's for sure. SGP3. Could he be winning? One more ride to come from him. He wins it. He's the champion.
Yeah, Casper Mania, he's soaked up the pressure here. Was looking on paper to be one of his easier rides, but you've still got to win them. And close action there from the onboard camera. And I've got to say, these 3 behind Casper Mania were all action for a couple of laps there. As we see Cooper Russian just riding up the inside there. He's got that throttle cable stretched again. Decent ride from the young reserve there, Patrick Cruz. But it was all about Casper Mania soaking up the pressure. As you rightly say, if he wins his last ride, he will be the SGP champion, SGP3 champion for 23.
He will indeed. So can he keep his composure? He's looking good at this stage. There's no question about that. And hasn't got to wait too much longer. He's out in heat number 17 off the outside gate, and every chance of being a world champion here this afternoon. So heat number 16 then, to complete 4 rides each. Off the inside in red is Mitchell McDermott from Australia. Gate number 2 in blue is Bo Bailey from Australia. Rasmus Carlsen also in with a shout. If he wins this one, that's very important for him. Gate number 3 in white, and a reserve switch here, of course, with Pedersen not riding anymore this afternoon. Jan Lasina from the Czech Republic for his first ride. Big ride for Carlsen now. Rasmus Carlsen, if he can win it, it'll be neck and neck. The tapes are up, and we're into the first corner. The rider off the inside, McDermott there, makes the start round the outside. Is Carlsen coming on strong, desperate to get to the front. Now chopping back to the inside, because he's coming under a lot of pressure from Bailey back in 3rd place. But McDermott from Australia out in front, off the inside gate. Can Carlsen do anything about the Aussie in front of him?
He's got to, if he wants to stay on the heels of Casper Mania. He's going to drop another point here if he can't. He's going for the shorter route up the inside. He's been doing that all afternoon. He's looking for the dive bomb, but I don't think he can generate the speed. He's turning the bike a little bit harder than McDermott. He's just keeping the bike running quite nicely, doing a good job out front.
Here we go then into the last lap. Rasmus Carlsen searching for a way through here, but McDermott out in front certainly has ridden a strong ride here, and they're into the last corner for the final time here in heat number 16. And Rasmus Carlsen looks like he's going to drop another point tight in the end, but 2nd place it is for him. And that leaves the door wide open for heat number 17, where we could well see a new champion crowned in Casper Mania. And Rasmus Carlsen there did everything he possibly could, but Mitchell McDermott from Australia off the inside gate, he picks up the 3 points there. Good ride. Rasmus Carlsen threw the kitchen sink at him, but just couldn't get there. 2 points for him. Bo Bailey back in third, 1 point. And Jan Lasina from the Czech Republic in his first ride this afternoon misses out in heat number 16. There's the position then after 4 rides each. Manya out in front on 11, Carlsen on 10. William Kearns on 9. Pavashak the same. Anderson, the reigning champion, back on 9. Looking at a tall order from there. Sven Sjezak going along so well earlier on, failing to score last time on 7. McDermott on 7 and Bo Bailey on 6. And so on down to Otto Rack on 1 point in 16th. But it's all set up beautifully for heat number 17, that's for sure. We've got some track grading to come. He's got gate number 4, Chris.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be a tough call, but this is when the champions, if you're going to do it, you've got to nail it in your last ride.
Yeah, this was all about Rasmus Carlsen there. Doesn't make the best of starts from gate 3. We have seen riders getting there from gate 3, but McDermott was up the inside and just kept it smooth. Didn't panic, he just kept the bike running quite nicely. And can see there Rasmus Carlsen just has to defend from Bo Bailey there as he comes under fire on the first lap. But the young Aussie here will be happy with this one, 3 points. And yeah, it was close on the line, but it's Mania. He can wrap it up here in heat 17 with a race win.
Long tracking down the straights there, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's got a nice style, actually.
Yeah, Mitchell there, he's looking good and has grown into the meeting, and he'll be very pleased to win a race here in the SGP3 final. And he'll go away with fond memories. He's got better the longer the meeting's gone on, actually, with a 2nd and 3rd in his last couple of rides, so 5 points there. So moving along nicely. If he can win his last ride, he'll have a decent result in his first World Championship. And that will be something to build on for him. He's got heat 18 to look forward to off the inside gate. So we'll take another look at the gate success for you. And it was all square, actually, last time we looked at it. That's what it's we've got a little bit. Gate number 3, now that is a surprise to me, with 5 wins from there. No surprise to see 5 wins from the inside gate and 3 each for gates 2 and 4. So interesting to see. But so we get some reaction now with Marcelina. We've got McDermott, Mitchell McDermott with Ty Woofenden and Marcelina.
Exactly, I'm joined by Ty Woofenden and Mitchell McDermott. Mitchell, I need to ask you about the support you get from Ty, because to have triple world champion in your corner, it must be very, very good for you, for your career as well.
Yeah, no, it's a great feeling when I'm going out there, having Ty by my side, giving me all the tips and tricks that I need to go out. But yeah, he's great help, and yeah, he was telling me how to hold my line then and not ride coming in too tight, so I can line up on the apex. But yeah, it worked out for that race, and we'll just keep it up for the rest of the meeting.
How do you feel as a mentor to younger mate, and what kind of advice do you think is crucial? Because as we can see, Mitchell is doing very good from the beginning, developing throughout the meeting. Ever since he showed up in the corner, it's getting better.
It's got nothing to do with me. Obviously finished on 2 gate 1s, so that helps a lot. But they just made a little bike change then, and you know, I've known Mitch since he was this big, so I was around when he was on the Pee Wee 50, and then all through the junior speedway in Australia. Yeah, just a pleasure to help. He's riding my bikes with his engines, my helmets, my everything, basically.
Nice to have such a great equipment from such a guy as Ty Woofenden, right?
Yeah, no, it's great help. Thanks, Ty, again.
It's so good to see you guys together, because it shows how important it is to have a support, not only the family but also the support of very experienced people around.
Yeah, for sure. You know, like I know when I was young, I had a lot of help from Steve Johnson. When I grew up in Australia, was kind of like the guy that was helping me and my dad out. And you know, if I can pass down to these other kids from Perth, because I'm there all summer anyway, so I get to spend a lot of time with them, and it's good watching them develop. You know, I remember we spent hours down at the track getting Mitch to do cutbacks, and yeah, he can definitely do them now, which is good. And that kind of is like the process of when you go from junior speedway to senior speedway. You know, when he comes over to Europe and races in Sweden and the UK on the real small little tracks, he'll have no problems getting around them, because we did all that groundwork many years ago.
Exactly. It's just the beginning of your journey in Speedway. You're making your first steps and doing very good so far. Last heat in front of you. How do you feel about it? Because it's probably still a chance for a medal tonight.
Yeah, no, I just got to keep my line and keep my head high, and yeah, I should come back pretty good for the last few races.
Good luck. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, great to hear from Ty, but also young Mitchell McDermott. And
lucky boy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very generous of Ty to lend the rolling chassis and all the kit.
Would have probably noticed if he'd have used his engines as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. So he'll be looking forward to heat number 18. Might get a medal. It might be a little bit of an outside chance if he could win and move on to 10. Might not be enough. But nonetheless, it's a fine display so far from the young Australian. But this is crunch time now. And heat number 17 with Casper Mania sitting on 11 points. Will he be a world champion in a few moments' time? He'll be certainly hoping so. The track will be a challenge because there'll be some water down and he'll have to do something pretty special from the outside. We have seen riders in the first race after the track grading and the watering. It's been very difficult to actually get yourself to the front. But
I had time to have to win a race from gate 4.
Not ideal for him, but these are the challenges that present themselves that you've got to overcome if you're going to make it.
Yeah.
But this is not done yet.
I tell you what, if Sven Scherzak can make a decent enough start off the inside gate and just ride a sensible race, it's going to be hard to beat. I've enjoyed watching him ride today.
Yeah, he's all action, that's for sure. So here we go then. This is the moment that we may see a new SGP3 world champion crowned in Casper Mania from Poland. And so a few vital moments coming up for him as riders enter the track for their 5th programmed ride here this afternoon. With, as you rightly say, young Sven Scherzak from Slovenia going from that inside gate. And will Casper Mania be able to find something or get a bit of good fortune in the first corner? It's been not easy from there. We've seen Anderson drop points there. We've seen riders certainly struggle away from the outside gate, but can he do something that others can't? There's been race wins from the outside. We've seen that on the gate success graphic earlier on. Sven Scherzak from Slovenia off the inside in red. Leo Klassen out of gate number 2 in blue. Patrick Cruz, the reserve, coming in here for Village Pedersen, gate number 3 in white. And Casper Mania off the outside in yellow. All eyes on the young Polish rider now. Yeah. Destiny in front of him here, Chris.
Yeah, he rocketed away from gate 3 in his last one. If he can make another start like that, he'll be happy.
Indeed he will. You just sense that is it his moment, or will he drop points? And that opens the door then to Rasmus Carlsen. All sorts of twists and turns possibly on the cards here. Or will he hit the front, pick up the win, and 14 points will see him through. Massive moment, really is. Rafał Dobrocki, of course, the team manager of Poland here. They'll be feeling it. They have such a strong record in the younger ranks, certainly at under 21 level. It's just outstanding. Here we go then. We're underway, and Mania has not quite got there. He's on the outside. He's elected to go very wide indeed. And with Scherzak away at the front, certainly going to be very difficult to peg him back. You said it. Sven Scherzak off the inside, and Mania's too wide. Too wide. He might be throwing it away now. It's only just about hanging on to 3rd place. This is opening the door for his closest competitors. He's gone to the back now. Oh, drama here in heat 17. Scherzak out in front, looking set for a win. Terrific. Patrick Cruz, the reserve, coming through in 2nd place. But the shock here, no question about it. Gate number 4 proving too much of a hurdle at this stage for Mania.
Yeah, it was a poor opening lap from him. He got stuck on the outside and he's just found his way to the back. And, well, after dropping just 1 point from his opening 4 rides, this is massive disappointment for Mania, but it throws it wide open now for Rasmus and, of course, Mikkel Anderson as well. But that man out front, my favourite for the day. Nice to see him finish off with a win.
10 points for Scherzak then. failed to score last time, which was disappointing, but he finished with a rattle there. Fabulous win for him in heat 17. Szczerjak coming through nicely, but drama there for Kasper Mania. Was set for the win, set to be world champion, but it looks like it may just have slipped through his fingers. Szczerjak out in front, 3 points for him. Patrick Cruz, the reserve rider, 2 points. Leo Klassen back in third, and Kasper Mania failing to score in heat 17. Drama here now. All of a sudden, Mikael Andersson will be feeling much happier about things. Rasmus Carlsen there, also on 10 points. He's the favourite now. It's flip-flopping all the time, but you just don't know. Kasper Mania finishes on 11, but he can be overhauled by Carlsen, Kearns, Pavelchak with their races to come, and Mikael Andersson as well. Which way is this going to go? Yeah, see it again.
There's too many permutations. We're going to have to let this one play out, Kelvin, but a tremendous start from the inside for Sven Szczerjak there. This is where it all goes wrong for Manu. He's on the outside now. At this point, down that back straight, maybe the wise thing to do would have just been ease the throttle and just let him get to the back, but he's over-committed. He could have got to the left there of the back wheel of the rider in white. That was the reserve, of course, Patrick Cruz, but he didn't, and he paid for that, and eventually he gets to the back, just running wide again. Just got trapped there. It was just a little bit of inexperience on the opening lap that really put paid to his challenge in this one.
That's a shame for him. He'll just have to keep his fingers crossed that he can get on the rostrum. Just missed out on a medal last year, of course, finishing 4th. And at this stage now, with Szczerjak on 10 points, we could very well be in for runoffs here this afternoon. Looking very likely indeed. So Mitch McDermott on the inside from Australia in red. Max Pavelchak out of gate number 2 in blue. Alfred Adberg out of gate number 3 in white. And gate number 4 in yellow is Cooper Russian. Now, massive race for Pavelchak.
Yeah.
He wins it, 12 points, puts himself right in the picture. Difficult to know which way this is going to pan out. Got a bit of rolling there on the inside from McDermott. Has he got away with? No, he hasn't, because certainly out of gate number 2, Pavelchak has absolutely fired himself to the front, and after a fairly slow start to this afternoon's meeting, Pavelchak has responded really strongly indeed. He's coming on very strong indeed. He's won his last 2 outings, and he's finishing with a rattle here, Chris.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to take it 3 wins to finish with, which is going to put him on 12 points. Decent position to be in. Everybody dropping points right now. McDermott had a decent finish to the afternoon as well. Hearing from him earlier was quite interesting. Russian's been in the mix, but he finds himself back in 3rd place once again with Elberg at the back. But yeah, it's all about Pavelchak. Slow start for him, but a strong finish.
He's going to be on 12 points, and he could actually be in with a chance of a runoff for the title. We just have to wait and see. But Pavelchak out in front, just under half a lap to go. 9 points out of his last 3 rides. There's been a fine display from him, and McDermott back in 2nd place, finishes on 9 points here this afternoon. So a strong display there from the Australian, but for Pavelchak, who was mightily impressive in the semi-final, finishes very strong here, and with 12 points will certainly have every chance of a medal in the SGP3 final here in Melilla this afternoon. Pavelchak wins, 3 points for him. McDermott back in 2nd place, 2 points. Cooper Russian picks up a point in 3rd, and Alfred Adberg finishes at the back and fails to score in heat number 18. So there's the position after Pavelchak wins heat 18. He's on 12. Mania can't improve on 11. Szczerjak the same on 10. Carlsen can, though. Carlsen could potentially win it with a win in his last ride, in actual fact. William Kearns can improve, so can Mikael Andersson. So everything to race here for in the last 2 heats of the afternoon. Possibly. Oh, a bit of movement there.
Yeah, there was a little bit of movement from the start there, but the referee decided to let that one go, and it was actually Pavelchak from gate 2 that manages to get there in front of McDermott, but I think the Russian once again in the thick of the action. He's been there or thereabouts all day, so a decent performance from the young Brit, but Pavelchak's all about the rider out front in blue here, puts himself on 12 points. Of course, with a race win, Carlsen is the only one that could actually top him, but he's got gate 4 and he's got Mikael Andersson in heat 20.
Got that to come because we've got heat 19 first, and on the inside in red is Otto Rack. Alex Adamson off of gate number 2 in blue. Filip Bukowski off of gate number 3 in white, and Bo Bailey off the outside in yellow. None of these riders are going to get a medal here. It's all about pride on the line to finish off as best as they possibly can. Bo Bailey has had his moments, but he's been up and down, hasn't had the consistency required here this afternoon, but still, the experience for all these youngsters is invaluable at having a world final. They'll go away and reflect on where they could have been better, what they could have done differently, but nonetheless a great experience gained, I'm sure.
It'd be nice to see Otto Rack, the young Finn, get a decent ride here. He's made some decent starts and he's been beat up on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, he has indeed. He was thrown off his bike in one race, but he's away on the inside, but he hasn't got there. It's the rider there from Australia, Adamson there, gets out of gate number 2, round the outside now from gate number 3. Here comes Bukowski, who did a great job last time out. He was out with Casper Mania, and he's looking strong in front, and looks like he could well be finishing strongly here this afternoon in Melilla. Bo Bailey back in 3rd place, and having a real good go coming through. We're on board, of course, with Otto Rack, and he's out the back. He's not looking like he's going to trouble the scores here. Bo Bailey's coming on strong in 3rd place, but out in front, Bukowski looking like he's going to finish with a win.
Yeah, Bukowski's looked strong when he's been out front. He's a real racer, really getting stuck into the action. He's going to finish himself with 8 points, a decent day's work. And can see the rider there, Bo Bailey scraping into the fence there, got himself all out of shape for a moment. But this one is all about the pole. Bukowski out front.
Last blast to finish his work this afternoon for Filip Bukowski. And as you say, he'll be pleased with that, and he would have learnt a lot, and he'll have more opportunities in the future, of course. But winning races is what it's all about, and he'll be chuffed to bits with that. Bo Bailey certainly trying to extend the safety fence there at one point down the straight. But Bukowski out in front, 3 points for him. Adamson back in 2nd place, 2 points. Bo Bailey, 1 point for him, and Otto Rack from Finland failing to score. And heat 19. So there's the position after 19 races here this afternoon, with Pavelchak out in front on 12, Mania on 11, Szczerjak on 10. Robert Karlsson is the man that will be the focus of attention in heat 20, that's for sure. He's on 10 with a ride to come. So is Kearns. So is Mikael Andersson. What a race we've got in prospect here in heat number 20. Will we finally see it? A champion crowned, or will we have a runoff? It's very possible, Chris. We'll see this again in heat number 19, but heat 20 is drama written all over it.
Yeah, the rider in blue here gets to the front, Adamson, but Bukowski round the outside. He's looked quick when he's got some fresh air, and he's been racing hard all day, so the pole finished himself off with a win. So decent points for him, but yeah, looking forward already to heat 20. How about a Mikael Andersson win with Rasmus Karlsson second, and we could have a 3-man runoff? That'd do for me.
It could very well happen, because Karlsson's off that outside, and that's not easy with Mikael Andersson certainly.
Oh, there's Bo Bailey just looking at the replays there. Yeah, the old just modifying the sponsor's banner on the fence.
Certainly giving his silencer a real good treatment as well, and his leg and footrest all at the same time. But hanging on there in 3rd place. I think we'll see a lot more from Bo Bailey. He's a young man, and I think he's got a big future in here. Here we go then. Is this the race where we'll see a new champion, or will we have to have some more races here this afternoon? Jan Lasina from the Czech Republic off the inside in red as a reserve replacement here. William Kearns with a warning off of gate number 2 in blue. Mikael Andersson, the reigning champion, off of gate number 3 in white, and Rasmus Karlsson, a surprise package here this afternoon from Sweden in yellow. Off the outside, has that gate number 4 come to him at the right time with the track drying out?
I tell you, I miss Kearns as well. He could put himself with a runoff here.
Absolutely right, so big drama. Massive points on the line here. SGP3 final. World Championship on the line. Oh, long pause. Mikael Andersson's made an absolute superb start. Round the outside. Here comes Robert Karlsson. No, he can't quite get there. He's up the inside, though. He's coming on strong. Forcing his way up the inside. Has he done enough? Yes, he has. Brilliant move from Rasmus Karlsson to fire himself to the front. That relegates Mikael Andersson, the reigning champion, back into 2nd place. That was vital from Karlsson.
This is going to be enough for Karlsson. If he can hang on here, he would take the victory today. Brilliant ride up the inside of Mikael Andersson, forced his way through. We've actually seen it in almost all of his rides. He's managed to get up the inside, but I tell you what, Mikkel Andersen hasn't given up. He's riding big laps. He's looking for straight lines in different places. It's going to be hard to find a way past Rasmus Carlsen.
Here we go then into the final lap of heat number 20. Rasmus Carlsen with less than 300 metres is tied. Mikkel Andersen giving everything in second place. One last blast round the turns 3 and 4. And Rasmus Carlsen's world champion, SGP3 world champion for 2023. What a moment for this young man. Don't get off of it now. Don't throw it away now. What a moment for him. Nobody talking about him coming into the meeting. Only just scraped through the semi-finals to be here. And the Swedish fans are delighted with that.
They're not going to stop him.
Many congratulations to him.
Brilliant. Well deserved as well. He's been racing so hard and so well all day, loving that dive bomb up the inside in at least 3 of his races. Fully deserved this championship. Well done, Rasmus Carlsen. I think he's a little bit excited about that, as he should be.
Rightly so. The Swedes will be overjoyed. 3 points then for Rasmus Carlsen, the new champion for 2023 at the SGP3 level. Mikkel Andersen back in second place. William Kearns in third. And the reserve back in fourth. Celebration time. Morgan Andersen will be chuffed to bits with that. And Rasmus Carlsen has kept his composure. And what a way to do it. He did it the hard way there, Chris. He had to come from behind. And that is also very sweet indeed.
Yeah, he did it so well.
At home in MALILLA, that's extra special.
Yeah, you know, a Swedish winner in MALILLA. We don't see it too often. Freddie Lindgren has won a Grand Prix here, but this is something that's going to live long in the memory for Rasmus Carlsen. What a day for the young man. Brilliant to see.
Indeed it is. To the winner the spoils, Chris. And nonetheless, Rasmus Carlsen clearly probably a bit shell-shocked. It looked like it certainly hasn't sunk in yet. But
what just happened?
What have I done? But I'll tell you what you've done. You're a world champion. And Sweden, of course, have got the 6-time senior world champion in attendance. I'm sure Tony Rickardsson is also delighted to see a youngster coming through in flying colours here this afternoon. As I say, he has ridden really solidly throughout. Nobody talking about him coming into the meeting, but he's produced a stunning performance. Manya had the opportunity in Heat 17, didn't work out for him. Mikkel Andersen, the red-hot favourite, coming into the meeting, just not his afternoon. But for Rasmus Carlsen, well, he certainly has written his name in lights here in MALILLA this afternoon, and we will remember that name. So here we see the results then. 3 points for Carlsen, 2 for Andersen in second place. William Kearns back in third, 1 for him. Jan Lesina failing to score. So there's the top 3 for you. There potentially is a runoff for third here. Rasmus Carlsen is the winner. And let's get some reaction now with the winner, with Marcelina in the pits.
What an excellent moment for you, Rasmus. Carlsen becomes a new world champion in SGP3. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling amazing.
It must be a great feeling also do it in your home crowd, in front of your home crowd in Sweden at MALILLA.
Yeah, 100%.
What can you say about the rivalry between you and Mikkel? It was very, very tough. It looks really, really scary sometimes.
Yeah, it was fun. I don't know what to say.
You can be just happy, and we can only congratulate you because it was a very, very good performance from you. Thank you so much for such emotions.
Thank you.
Clearly overcome with emotions, and you can understand it at such a tender age. We'll watch it again, and he had to do it because he doesn't get away that well.
No, he doesn't get away that well, but what a first turn. The way he thought about this, just working on that cutback, gets on the back of the seat and gets his wheels in line slightly earlier than Mikkel Andersen, just generates loads of speed. He's still on the back of the seat there as they enter the corner. Really accomplished first lap from the young Swede there. And, well, he summed it up there. He didn't know what to say, but he said it was fun. And it looked like fun to me.
And that's what it's all about when you're a teenager. It's fun, and even under that immense pressure, he managed to enjoy himself. He rode a really strong ride there, and Mikkel Andersen threw the kitchen sink at it, but just didn't have the speed required. I think that Mikkel Andersen has outgrown the 250 in truth. I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. You know, he's a fairly tall lad. He's obviously carrying just a little bit more weight than his opposition. And we can see Rasmus there celebrating, one hand on the handlebars, while Mikkel Andersen still actually trying to beat him in the race. But fully deserved victory, rode extremely well, had to race for nearly all of his points, passing in just about every race. And what a day for the young man.
Yeah, a day he will remember. A day he will remember forever, of course. The biggest moment, a day he will remember forever as a new world champion. We will have a runoff for third place with Kasper Mania certainly looking to try and get a medal this time. There's no doubt about that, having just missed out last year. He'll be absolutely gutted not to get on the rostrum here. Just taking a few moments to decide exactly.
You have to pick red or white only.
Yeah. There's only red and white, yeah? Inside is red, outside is white. Okay? The helmet color is the same, red and white.
Last year's champion there, Mikkel Andersen, and Kasper Mania having to go head-to-head here. Coin toss will take place here to determine who wins that and who chooses which way they go, whether they go for the inside or the outside. Does seem to be rather complicated. It's quite a straightforward scenario in truth.
It's normally a straightforward process.
Yeah, it really is. But Mikkel Andersen clearly gutted. Not the ideal scenario he was looking forward. The champion was looking to retain his title. That hasn't happened. For that young man, of course, he'll be very keen. He had the opportunity to win in Heat 17. It didn't transpire, where he failed to score, but this is a bit of a consolation prize, and I'm sure he'll be very keen. Emotionally, Mania must be more upbeat than Mikkel Andersen, you would think.
Yeah, I would think so. You know, as you said, Kelvin, he's just looking to get on the podium, just missed out last year, so it's going to be a big thing for him. But, you know, to throw away that last race with a last place, I honestly thought that at worst he would be second. I thought that Sheerzak off the inside gate in that one could possibly get to the corner on a newly fresh prep track and beat him, but he'd be disappointed with that last place.
Indeed he will. But Ty Wolfenden in amongst the action once again. A little bit of advice for Mikkel Andersen.
Okay, we're ready.
Does seem to be quite a procedure, this. The race director there.
We are here for the gate choice for the runoff for the bronze medal. Kasper Mania have the first choice, and his choice is red. Second choice have Mikkel Andersen. And of course he have to choose white, which is outside, and Kasper Mania on the inside on red.
So there we are then, the runoff for third place in the SGP3 final here this afternoon between Mikkel Andersen and Kasper Mania. Mania possibly won the coin toss there and elected to go. We didn't actually see or hear who actually won, but it would suggest with the first pick he won it, and he's going from the inside gate, which is probably the right thing to do. Mikkel Andersen trying to drag something out of this meeting, wants a medal to complete his 250 career with that medal, with a gold and a bronze to his name.
Just to explain, it is inside or outside, so they will be able to use either gate on the inside or the outside.
I'm not sure that is the case. I hate to disagree.
Okay,
I hate to agree.
not.
I think because he chose gate 1, I think then he have to take gate 3. I sense that was the case, but
maybe that was the complication before the...
Maybe. But nonetheless, that's the way it's panned out. And Mania will go from the inside gate in the red helmet, and he makes his way forward now. Run off, sudden death once again. This is the drama of a 20-heat format, effectively the old world final format that we are seeing here this afternoon. We've witnessed all sorts of drama here this afternoon in MALILLA. It's been a fine showing again from the 250 under-16 riders. They've done themselves proud, Chris, and there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, they have. They've put on another entertaining all-action meeting for us, just like in Wrocław last year.
Yeah, it's been good viewing. That man will be disappointed, of course, when you're the top dog. It's really and truthfully, you've only got one way to go, and he was desperate to retain his title, but he has a huge future ahead of him, nonetheless, with the senior ranks beckoning for him now. Wouldn't be at all surprised if this is his very last race on a 250, in truth. He's ready for a 500, no doubt about that.
Definitely. Yeah, I think you said it when you've said he's outgrown that bike. I think he's outgrown
I sense that's the
power
case.
of the engine.
Absolutely right. So here we go then. Final time of the afternoon here in Malilla. The Lapman and Maskin FIM SGP3 final of Sweden. Riders coming out to see who's going to grab the bronze medal here this afternoon. We know the gold and silver, but it's all about the bronze medal now and the charge with these two riders. Certainly think that Anderson can be sharp away from the tapes, but Manya's been pretty solid as well. These two guys have got similar speed. This could be quite a tussle.
Yeah, I feel off the inside if Manya does manage to make the start, then he'll be hard to pass.
I owe you an apology in a minute.
I wasn't going to mention it.
Casper Mania off gate number 2 in red. The inside, you're right, and gate number 3 in white. He is going from there, but off the outside. So the riders are very close together. So Mania has elected to go in the middle of the track. Both of them have, in actual fact. So they feel that that's the best place to start from. And here we go. Rocky has already got second place here this afternoon, the team manager.
Oh, what a start.
Oh, hang on. Looked like he eased off there, but Anderson's out in front. I thought for a moment the red lights were coming on there. They both seemed to hesitate going into turn 1. It seemed a bit odd there, but out in front, Mikael Anderson, the former champion, excuse me, from 2022, is flying away out in front. Certainly Casper Mania down the back straight with Anderson just beginning to stretch his legs now, and it's looking like he's going to pick up a medal in possibly his last ride on a 250cc machine.
Yeah, well deserved. Mania, frustration for him. He's going to finish in 4th place once again.
Indeed he is. He's trying everything he can, but Mikael Anderson there hugging the inside. Certainly Mania there's not out of it. He's coming on strong. He's trying awfully hard there in second place, but Mikael Anderson with one last blast down the back straight, having a look over to the left. Mania now trying the blast round the outside. Will it work? In the dirt, not quite going to get there. Mikael Anderson seals the deal. He picks up 3rd place, and the bronze medal is his. Made the start. Inexplicably, both riders hesitated going in the first turn there. I don't know what was going on there, but the race wasn't stopped and they continued on, and Mikael Anderson finishes his 250 career with a medal. Nicky Pedersen, 6 world championships between those two. I'm pleased with that, and Anderson, maybe that'll put a smile back on his face. He looked a bit down in the dumps before the race off, but congratulations to him. Casper Mania will be really frustrated. He was in a position to win this meeting, and he ends up just being picked to the post, and he finishes some 4th place for 2 consecutive years. Hopefully next year he can do a little bit better.
Shaking his head there riding round. He looks a little dissatisfied with something, his general performance on the day, but I mean, reigning champion last year, and he's got himself on the podium this year. It's not a bad effort.
No, it is not. It just didn't have the speed that we saw in Wroclaw last year, and of course the riders at this tender age can have growth spurts and fill into their bodies, and I think that's what's happened there. But nonetheless, we've got Carlson Pavashak and Mikael Anderson on the rostrum here this afternoon.
Let's see what happens in this first turn, because it certainly looks just here like they're both backed off, but no, they didn't. It actually didn't look so from the top there, but it did look from the back here like they were there. I think it's because the elbow goes up of Mania. We just think he's going to actually pull over.
To me, that Anderson's kind of hesitated there, but just one of those old things. But nonetheless, it was a good run-off, and in the end, Mikael Anderson comes through and picks up the vital win in the run-off for 3rd place in the world at SGP3 level. Good effort from Mania there, winding it on around the outside.
Yeah, he's got a nice style as well. He rides the bike very, very well. Another quite tall lad, actually, a little bit like Mikael Anderson. He looks over his right shoulder there, seeing where he is. I think he realises that with the inside run, he's not going to get rounded from there.
So there we are. We're done and dusted now. The SGP3 final is completed. So, looks like they're coming out on a parade lap, potentially on their bikes here, maybe.
Yeah, just riding back to the podium, I think.
So Mikael Andersson upset there, quite clearly wanted to win here this afternoon, but it hasn't been his afternoon. He's just going to do a lap of honour in front of the crowd here this afternoon to celebrate.
Just put a lot of pressure on himself. I was reading in the press that he was putting too much pressure on himself in the semi-final, so he does expect a lot from himself, the young man.
There we are, but that's the champion. He's the man that certainly isn't upset. He's the one with the big, broad smile under that helmet, that's for sure. Mikael Andersson clearly disappointed with the way things have worked out, but there are highs and lows in Speedway. Pavelšák, of course, picks up silver medal here. So after a steady start and a stunning display in the semi-finals, he ends up being second in the world in the SGP3 for 2023, doing a burnout there on the centre green. Celebrating, but it's been an enjoyable afternoon. Certainly the crowd that turned up have been well entertained, and the weather's behaved as well. So all in all, you know, it's been a very successful afternoon of Speedway.
Yeah, great afternoon of racing, and I've got to say the future looks bright with a lot of these young lads coming on. There's some great racers out there.
I think this new format also gives them the incentive that, you know, they've got an opportunity to put themselves in the picture at a younger age and to gain valuable experience. And no doubt that we'll see a lot more from these lads moving forward in the future. Certainly Mikael Andersson, who seems to be unduly hard on himself there. I think he'll have to, as he matures, I'm sure he'll cope with that an awful lot better. That man there probably just in dream world right now. I'm sure we'll hear from him once again, of course, we generally do with the winner on the centre green. Marcelina would have made her way out there. He didn't quite know what to say. Maybe he's had a good think about things now and he's got a bit more to say to us, and we can hear from him, because there's no doubt that it is a special moment for Rasmus Carlsson. Here in Sweden, in MALILLA. It's been a special afternoon for him, and Marcelina is down there and she's joined by Rasmus Carlsson, the winner.
Rasmus Carlsson here with me, new Speedway Grand Prix 3 world champion. Congratulations once again. After a couple of moments, do you realize you have become a world champion?
No, not really.
It's a great moment, obviously, and you can cherish and share this very moment with the home crowd here at MALILLA, and you can say a couple of words in Swedish if you like.
Ja, jag skulle vilja säga ett stort tack till Noel Wahlqvist som har hjälpt mig meka idag.
Thank you so much and congratulations once again.
Tack, tack.
Yeah, nicely received there by the home crowd, and I'm sure that they're chuffed to bits, and they'll be looking forward, of course, hopefully for some more Swedish success tomorrow, where Freddie Lindgren is one of the favourites for the Grand Prix and has a fine record here in MALILLA, there's no doubt about that. But for the moment, all the attention is on the SGP3 riders, and in particular the top 3 riders here who will be presented. Mikael Andersson coming forward now in 3rd place here this afternoon. Champion last year, finishing 3rd here this afternoon. Still quite upset, but nonetheless, he gave it his all. He hasn't got too much to sort of beat himself up about. He did everything he possibly could. He didn't appear to make too many mistakes, but disconsolate there up on the rostrum.
Yeah, 2 SGP3 competitions and a win and a 3rd. That's really not too bad.
And Maximilian Pavelšák coming forward from Poland now. Picks up the silver medal. He looks very different, his facial expression, than Mikael Andersson. He looks delighted to have got 2nd place here in MALILLA this afternoon. And now the winner, Rasmus Carlsson from Sweden, winning his first World Championship at home. A very, very special moment for him indeed. Fabulous reception for him, and I think it's going to take some time. He's going to be going either to school or doing something next week on holiday in the caravan somewhere in Sweden, and thinking, Wow, did that really happen? But it has.
He's still got a look of shock on his face at the moment.
So now we have the dignitaries coming forward. Peter Rosalind from the main sponsor of the event, Lapman and Maskin, coming forward to present the third place trophy to Mikael Andersson. And Mikael clearly not too chuffed with that, but Amado Castagna, the FIM Track Racing director, coming forward to present Pavel Shak with second place, and just congratulating the other two riders as well. And the winner, of course, the new SGP3 World Champion, will be presented, the trophy will be presented by Hakan Lehmann now, the FM board member. And as I say, this is extra special for him, and no wonder he's got a huge smile on his face. And as I say, winning it in Sweden is extra special for him. It's going to be something that he'll remember forever. Fabulous moment for him.
Medals are presented by
The all-important medals, of course. Bronze medal for Mikael Andersson after collecting a gold last year. Not a bad effort, not a bad effort. And for this young man, of course, Maximilian Pavelczak from Poland, a silver. I'm sure he'll be back next year. I sense that he'll have every chance. And Rasmus Carlsen, gold for him. And that will be on the mantelpiece. I don't think it'll ever be removed, will it, Chris?
No. I mean, and so deserved. He started with a couple of race wins, then a couple of second places in the middle of the meeting, and then won it in style by passing the reigning champion.
And then the trophy itself, the World Championship trophy. SGP number 3. What a moment. And as you rightly say, he's done it the hard way at times here this afternoon. He hasn't been gifted it at all. He had to really hold himself together and pass the reigning champion in heat number 20. Right now, a moment for the national anthem of Sweden. So once again, many congratulations to all three, but in particular the new SGP3 World Champion, Rasmus Carlsen there. Fantastic effort from him. And he can now relax, and a few pictures for the press, of course, up on the rostrum. We can begin to focus our attentions on tomorrow's action, of course, round number 6 of the SGP series, where we move into the second half of the season with Bartosz Marslik, the 21-point lead. Can anybody do anything about that? But, it's celebration time for all three, of course.
Alcohol-free champagne.
Quite possibly, yeah. I'm not sure any of them are. Well, they're not, are they? They're not at the age where they can actually enjoy that, or they enjoy spraying it over each other. Not always that comfortable, but it's been a smashing afternoon of Speedway. There's no doubt about that. Another fine effort for the 250 riders, the under-16 riders doing a fine job and really entertaining us. And in the end, it was real drama right to heat number 20 and the run-off for third place as well. So we've had our money's worth here this afternoon in MALILLA. All the ingredients, fine track, good afternoon. The weather's behaved as well. So there we are. Thanks for joining us. We'll have a look now, and just a reminder of what's coming up tomorrow. Of course, we've got qualifying practice at 1 o'clock Central European time. Then the studio program starts at 6:30, and then of course round number 6 will start proper at 7 o'clock. And we've also please try and catch up with the SGP4 meeting, which will be tomorrow as well in the morning. which will be the inaugural meeting of the SGP Championship as well on the junior track just to the side of the track. So yeah, what an afternoon it's been. It's been fabulous entertainment. We have had a smashing meeting here, but please join us tomorrow afternoon for round 6 of the SGP series here in MALILLA.